have to change so you can hear.
Oh.
Where are we?
No,
Discord. Blue. Hi, Blue. How are you?
I'm looking for a mouse button, or a mute button.
A mute button.
Any
Yes.
kind of button. There, I found a button.
Button. Who's got the button? Apparently that used to be a game.
Always translate Dutch.
right, there's another crossroads, and they're all cycle paths.
Eid. Municipality of Eden.
Okay. You guys can still hear me, can't you? Yep, good. Just
Yes, we can.
I'll just start the stream, see who's out there. There's usually some Armageddon. Armageddon will be first.
Usually is.
Let's see. Live chat.
Ha!
Found it?
No, I'm first.
Well, I've at least found, I think, the municipality.
All right.
Good start point.
It's
Oh, I think I've actually got a bloody place name and not some generic.
That'd be handy because I got nothing.
Hessen were they haven't trimmed back the foliage. Oh, what is that? What's the last letter? Hessen. Bollocks, I can't see what it says. Is it Hessenweg? Let's try Hessenweg. No, I think there's only one letter on the end.
so it's It looks like some parachutists might have landed there in September 1944.
Oh, okay.
Oh Christ, that doesn't narrow it down.
Where British and Polish paratroopers might have landed there in 1940. The DZ, not the operational target. You know where the DZ is, sort of northwest of Oosterbeek.
Can't say I do.
The heathland where the British and Polish paras landed for the Arnhem operation.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It looks like it's part of the DZ for that, the drop zone.
Okay. Well, does that help us out?
But
I can't remember where that was.
well, I say if you find Arnhem and kind of come out of Arnhem via Oosterbeek, heading along the railway track, it goes through the village of Ede as it heads up towards Amsterdam. And there are forested areas and open heathlands and sort of those sorts of tracks all across that area.
Okay. So, what do you reckon? We just pick a spot. Where are you guys?
Oh shit! Where's Bullseye? There it is.
Because I have a feeling we're just sort of south of Amsterdam is the best I can come up with.
I think we're kind of. I think I'm fairly. I mean, if we go on ultra or large, we're probably going to.
Well, I think medium
get
we
hit
can.
from where I am.
Where are you? Where are yours? Oh, there you are. Yeah, you're up near the Arnhem, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm up between Arnhem and Ede because I found a thing that says the municipality of Ede on a gate.
Well, at the moment, I'm sort of willing to guess and go small. Go for the 3,000 points.
Hang on, let me just double check where this.
Because that'll put us roughly between.
Wolfheze.
Yeah.
Het National Park, the Hoge View. But yeah, it's kind of all where the British drop zones were. Because you can't drop the parachutists any closer because it's all flooded. Although maybe it wasn't.
Well, so we're the Brooms, the Rind, the Vet. That doesn't help me much at all, does it? Bostad. Oh, Bostad worked at Swimming Hole, wasn't it? Yeah. So.
Yeah, somewhere around there, but I can't.
KT. Oh, guess what? I found something. I found a landmark. Now I've just got to work out where that landmark is. So, not far from where we dropped, southeast, of Amsterdam. So, Amsterdam. So, a bit up from close to where Alan is, virtually. But, see where I'll just find it exactly. That's a little bit south of where I am. I found a sign only a few hundred metres from where we started that had this place on it. Where are you? Where are you? Trying to find the actual name, but it's all in a foreign language, which makes it difficult.
This is where we could do with Dora the Explorer, isn't it?
Yeah, Dora, why are you not playing? You can come in and tell us where we're going. Tell us exactly where we are. DeWitt. So where's this? DeWitt. So there's DeWitt. And where are you? Yeah. So you know where we were on the road. Yeah, am I still sharing? Not sharing my thing in Discord, am I?
Yeah.
I think I still am. So see the sign. Yeah, so you can see the sign in if you look in the Discord thing. That sign was just up from where we are, where we landed, right? And there's Utsenskudgen de Kopel, right? Is where my marker is at the moment. Temporarily closed.
Yeah.
So there's a swimming hole. There's something rather looks like a sauna.
And it
All
and
down
it's
that.
still close to Ede, so
Yeah.
you quite easily bump into the edge of Ede as well.
Yeah. So I'm willing, if we're closer to there, drop that down to Ultra. Is Ultra that big? They haven't put as well as inside Ultra. Oh, sorry, going the wrong way. We want to go that way. Mini? Or I don't know if I can go Bullseye, but definitely Mini would get us. I'd have to be spot on for Bullseye, and I don't know if I can say that.
You think we're within Mini territory? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because this place on the sign is within walking distance, because it's a walking trail, I can't be that far away, and I suspect it's actually one of the... So it is...
All right, somewhere in there, isn't it? Yeah, I'd just go for Mini.
Because it's west of where we are, west of where I am. So I actually think, to be accurately, we would have probably dropped in somewhere here, but that, or somewhere there, who knows. But, you know, I can't see those houses that are supposed to be just there. Or they could be buried in the bush. Who can tell? So anyway, let's go there.
I'm quite happy for us to guess around that area.
I've already pushed guess. I've already pushed guess.
There you go.
There we go. Looks.
Oh yeah.
How far away was I?
And Timbo was close. It doesn't say how close, but pretty close.
No, it wasn't that
far off.
No.
But honestly, if we'd have gone for any of the places that we suggested, we'd have been within that circle, wouldn't we?
Within Mini, yeah. You have to be pretty spot on.
Yeah.
So there, finished the game. Done. What am I doing? So where is everyone? I started this too late, which is why. You here? You here?
We didn't
Yes, sir. Present.
Anyone.
There he is. There he is. How did your piano go? Your baby grand?
It's all delivered. It's in the room. It's fantastic.
Good.
Glad to hear it. Where, put this out of there. Go over there. Put that up there. Yeah. I started the stream a bit late, I think, so no one's turned up. I probably should have started it earlier. Just on the habit. There's only farmers, isn't there?
I must admit, I was snoozing, and I snoozed a bit longer than I needed to, but it was great.
Good to have a rest.
Oh, I think Amazon's having a little bit of a fit.
Okay.
Because I've received confirmation of an order that's being delivered, and I'm just trying to see when I actually made that order. It was last year.
So, this wasn't Amazon stores. This is Amazon delivering to you.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let me go back to 2022. I'm sure that's when I actually made and received that order. But I've had an email confirming that we thought you'd like to know we've dispatched your items. Yes, several months ago. Thank you very much. Let's click the order number and see when I actually. Yes, I ordered that the 24th of October last year, and it was delivered. It was delivered on the 26th of October. Parcel was handed to resident. And yeah, I've just received an email confirming that they're going to make the delivery. So that would be interesting.
Well, that's good of them.
Yeah. They're only what, 4 months late. It must have been a glitch in their computer system somewhere. It's very
I can't remember. Something I ordered once, and I think it was like 6 months late. Or like they said, it's going to be somewhere between 4 to like 1 to 3 months delivery. Or some obscure thing from China. I think it was. I can't remember. Maybe China.
Yeah.
I mean, the time to go up. Oh yeah, I had that order, and then I looked, and I hadn't turned up, and it was about a month overdue. So I sent a thing off saying, "Oh, I never got such and such." Oh, in that case, would you like to get us to reorder that, or we can't, or get your money back? And I said, "Oh, it wasn't something I was in a hurry." So I said, "Yeah, reorder that." And then within a week, I got two of them. So the original order turned up, and then the other one turned up. Might have been a DVD.
Yeah, but like I say, I ordered this on the 24th of October, and I got it on the 26th of October. So bizarre.
It is. It is. Okay.
Very nice looking piano, Paul.
It is. It's a very
It is.
nice looking and nice sounding too. It's good.
Has it been tuned and everything?
It was tuned before it left the shop on its trip,
Yeah.
but I've got so it's in reasonable tune. But I'm expecting that it may go out of tune, over the next week or month. But it gets a free tune within 6 months. So I've already contacted a piano tuner, or he contacted me actually, and he said he's going to come up in a couple of months and give it a retune once it's settled in.
Yeah, it definitely will change.
Yeah.
Well, just moving one does it, but it's going to have to get used to new humidity levels and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought for a sec you had LED lights on your floor, and then I realised no,
I do.
You do you?
I do, yeah.
So that actually is an LED. I thought it was a reflection of something, and then because I thought, oh, it's reflecting on the piano, so it can't be on the floor. So you got LED lights down that side.
Down that side, yeah. It actually looks good.
Cool. So the piano's reflecting off the ones in the corner. That makes sense then.
The plate in that thing is beautiful.
And bloody heavy too.
No shit. Yeah, that's about 600 pounds.
639 to be precise. The piano is.
Yeah, I know.
So it's my 639-pound baby, man.
Mm-hmm. Good thing you got the little baby.
Yep.
Think about what one of those 9-foot motherfuckers weighs. Oops, I'm sorry.
Yes, quite a bit. That's okay. I'm within. How much are you allowed to be into your YouTube before you can swear? Isn't there a rule if you start
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Okay, I don't think they're going to track me down. Worst case, they kick me off. I'm not going
I've
to be worried.
only offended
My whole 7
I've only
unit.
offended 7 people, so 5 of them were us.
That's what I was going to say. No one's talking in chat. They don't want to
Hello,
talk.
Judy, Larry DeMarch.
Have you got people? I've got no one in my chat.
Huh?
Oh, there
What are
they
you on
are.
about?
You got
No,
people
I had
in your
I had my
chat.
chat screen up and no one was in it, and then I've just refreshed it and they're all there. God, I thought no one was talking to me, which is completely understandable. My work sent me a cheesecake on Friday, and they got one of the work guys dropped it around and said, "Here, Tim, happy birthday." I said, "Oh, thanks," except it's not my birthday. Someone had misread my birth date on the thing and thought they'd do a surprise.
Ah, well, it was a surprise. It's not my birthday, but thank you very much anyway.
Cheesecake, yeah. So I got cheesecake for the weekend. I was quite happy.
I tell you what made my week this week, and that was the geometry problem that you guys gave Bev that he didn't know how to do.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That was precious.
Which one?
The one with the 3, the 4, and the 5. You know, the one with
Oh.
the 3 right angles. And Bev just comes up and makes assumptions and comes out with an answer of 9, which most people would do, but it was wrong.
So just sharing that for the peoples, that one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So,
He said 9, did he?
But Bev is a total
He said
geometric
nine.
nitwit.
For a
I looked
geometry
at that.
expert.
I looked at that for all of about 10 seconds and said, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
I see a common hypotenuse here.
It took me longer to draw it up than it took me to solve it.
Well, I looked at it and I immediately saw that first 3 is much bigger than that second 3, and I thought, hang on, this ain't anywhere near to scale. Let me think about that.
Exactly. Yeah, don't pay attention to the picture.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's what it looks like for real.
Yeah. Make it pretty simple. I'm sure I've seen that before, that quiz. But look, I could see it throw somebody off initially if they didn't really have any thinking about how geometry works. But yeah, once you realise, it's pretty straightforward.
well, why do you think he's now switching over to? I can't believe I'm saying it. Philosophy.
Oh, is he? He's moving away from geometry.
Yeah. Well, it looked like it. He's trying to get all of his avid followers to follow these philosophy classes that are on.
Oh, that's a Christian thing place, was it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Hillsdale College.
That's it.
It's a Christian university or Christian college. Right wing thing.
Right. That's a bit scary. They're
Well, that's about par for the course. That's about what I would expect out of them.
You think he must get?
And I suppose he was due a sort of a change in tack anyway, because for years he was a very vocal proponent of the flat Earth, and then at some point towards the end of 2019, he just did this entire change to, oh, that's geometry. I'm not a flat earther because, I've got hills and valleys. I've got terrain. Make this whole total sea change about his approach to it. So now he's not pushing the flat Earth. He's pushing geometry. And now I suspect he's trying to get away from geometry because it ain't
Because he's a
working.
nitwit. Because he's an absolute geometry nitwit.
Yes,
Or he'll just carry on and then spend half of his time going on about philosophy. But that's if it sticks. That's obviously a change of tack, and he's got to see if that works. But that depends on whether all of his acolytes go along with it too. Because don't forget, they all say that they're not flat earthers as well. Because Bev isn't a flat earther, so they're not flat earthers. And then if you look at all of their comments in the side chat of those interminable weekly shows that he does, they're all flat earthers too. I mean, they are all of them flat earthers, but they think they're being clever like he is by saying, no, we're not flat earthers. We've got proof it's not flat. Yeah, but you never discuss the shape of the Earth, do you?
No, just say it's not.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the biggest giveaway, because when he has been pushed, he says it's what's that bloody word he comes up with that basically means you can't know it, you can't understand it or something. Because the closest he's ever been to what's the shape of the Earth, I don't know. You're a grown man of 51, you don't know what the shape of the Earth is, but everything that you says is flat Earth.
Yeah.
Your model is flat Earth, and yet you call us model afflicted. I'm still fairly convinced that he's just doing all this for a wind up and for the attention.
Of course he is. I mean, a grown man wouldn't say, where does the sun go at night? Oh, it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know grown men who say that. David Weiss says that all the time, because that's what he told me when they come into Jose's. What? Explain the sunset. Oh, it just goes away. Really? That's the best you can come up with?
So Bev tweeted, misfortune shows those who are not a friend. So Aristotle, so yes, Greek philosopher. So it looks like he's going to be posting quotes from Greek philosophers now rather than Greek geometers.
Well, if you follow him on Twitter, it's quite interesting to see what he retweets all the time. He's forever retweeting Feynman.
Feynman.
As if he's yeah. Oh, what did he retweet? If you he's obviously burning them in the oil. He's retweeted Voltaire. The only way to comprehend what mathematicians mean by infinity is to contemplate the extent of human stupidity. Ironic that Bev's retweeting that.
So it's got here. So it's got something from Socrates. To be nicer than...
Oh, good old Socrates.
Yeah,
Socrates.
Yeah.
Be nicer than necessary to everyone you meet. Everyone is fighting some kind of battle. And from Aristotle, he's got to write well, express yourself like common people, but think like a wise man. So it looks like he's just going to be posting quotes from Greek philosophers, but it looks... I don't know what Captain Caveman, what that's got to do with anything.
Well, I've got a bit of philosophy that's right up Bev's alley. When you're dead, you don't know you're dead. It's other people that feel the pain. When you're stupid, it's the same thing.
That's right.
And I've just had confirmation of what happened to me on Twitter yesterday.
Right.
I got blocked for 12 hours, and it would have been longer if I didn't delete 3 tweets. Those 3 tweets were all criticising Bev. In one, I called him a moron. And I've just looked back and he put up something 2 hours ago. Where's Farmer's Boy? Not seen him go a while. Has he given up trolling me on commenting on every tweet I make? I wondered why I got a hit from Twitter. He obviously reported me.
Okay.
And then he said, oh, Farmer's Boy, you know. Oh, yeah, because I basically got blocked from Twitter for 12 hours. I thought, well, that's okay, I'll be asleep.
You may notice.
Yeah, because it came up yesterday evening. I went to give a thumbs up on something. It says, "Oh, you've been blocked," and it'll only be 12 hours if you delete these 3 particular tweets. And all 3 were being critical of Bev.
There you go. I found Blue.
There I am.
I'll have to let him know that I'll reply and say, "Don't worry, I'm still here."
We found Blue on his. I found Blue on his.
Yeah, there I
On
am.
his Discord feed. Blue Marble Science. Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking pretty good there.
Yeah, for a retired engineer.
Rather strange haircut, but
For a retired engineer who doesn't know what engineering units are. What was it? The decimal feet.
Oh.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
What idiot would want to survey in feet and inches?
yeah.
Who was proposing that?
That's what. Let's see, which one of the numpties?
James D James or whatever it is. Is that the one?
James D. Yeah, James D. That's the guy. Oh yeah, he was raising mortal hell with me, and telling all, and Bev was going along with it too. But I had no idea what I was talking. Well, Bev sort of went along with it.
Yeah, he didn't really. He got sort of disappeared it.
But yeah, I think Bev realized in the middle of that I was right.
I think I've got it on. I just found the section that came up on your server. I'll just see if I can find the actual. Hang on, might have been a bit further up. That was an actual quote from. Might be too far. Go back. So, yeah, I was after that. So, was this the one? Old Blue showed he was an engineer in the chat today. He claimed that US measures 1/10 of a foot. It's one thing to misspeak an error, but the ignorance shows when he doubled down on this incorrect statement. Is there a list of dumb poo? He says, I have measures up to 1/10 and x square equals r squared. So like, what's that?
I have no idea why he threw the Pythagorean theorem in there, but
I don't know really.
Yeah.
what that had to do with what? But actually, that brings out an even better reason for why you would never use feet and inches. Did you ever try to square feet and inches? Try that.
Yes. Oh, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
12 foot 6 3/8 of an inch. Square it for me, please.
Well, first thing it is convert it to decimal.
Yeah, the
right?
first thing you're going to do is convert it to decimals, you idiot.
Exactly. Hang on a minute.
Yes. But see, Bev, I did give Bev that he did say America they do decimalised feet when surveying. Yes, he did let it go on for more than it should have. There are purposes to decimalised feet. When you say half of the foot, it means 6 inches, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no concept. No concept at all. Standing unit is an inch. Actually, I think technically it's standard as a foot, isn't it? But anyway.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. No idea.
We decimalize things, and sometimes we don't.
No, I think...
we decimalize inches all the time. That's engineering.
Even sometimes you use metric, and sometimes you don't. So it depends what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're almost fully metric over here. Nearly, sort of. We still buy pints of beer. We still travel by miles on the road.
Yeah.
We're nearly there, but I'm not entirely sure we'll ever go 100% metric.
But your car speedos in kilometres, though, aren't they?
No, the miles an hour.
Okay.
Ah, still miles per hour. Yeah, okay.
Because all of our road signs show miles. Although when we go and fill the car up, it tells us how many litres we're putting in, not how many gallons. But yeah, our speedos are primarily miles an hour. They do have on the inside. They also have kilometres an hour, but they're all miles an hour because we still show all of our road distances. Our road signs read miles. So, like I say, we're nearly there, but not quite.
Speedos have been dual miles per hour kilometres since the 70s, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They have been here too.
I haven't here.
Yeah, because as soon as you cross the channel, so I'm gonna drive over into France. Bingo, everything's in kilometres. So you need to know your speed in kilometres an hour. But yeah, over here it's still miles an hour.
I'm not right age to know, but Paul, when did we ever have dual speedometers?
Yeah.
Because I can only remember one's either been in miles or one been in kilometres. I'm trying to think of any vehicle I had that had dual.
I was in my teens. I think my nana had a little Hillman Hunter, and it was in miles per hour. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I had miles per hour because I used to drive a Morris Minor 1000. It was in miles per hour. But I just can't remember a vehicle that had both.
I used to drive a Morris Minor too. Actually, not the whole Morris Minor. I only used to drive the Morris Minor bonnet.
Okay.
you know what I mean, or not?
No.
We had an old Morris Minor that was rusting on our farm, and we took the bonnet off, and we took a long rope up to it and dragged it on the tractor. We'd sit on the Morris Minor bonnet behind the tractor and skid on the wet grass. That was fun.
I've done that in a B-dub bonnet, but not in a Morris Minor one. Yeah. Same deal. So Morris Minor Mini Moke was the first vehicle I learned to drive in.
Blimey.
That was fun. It was on the farm, so we could do whatever we wanted. So, I think my first crash was in the Mini Moke, but that wasn't my fault. Of course.
Of course.
My brother
Metro. The so-called Mini Metro was my first car to learning. And then my first car was a proper Mini, 77 I think it was.
I properly learned it in a Mark III Cortina.
Oh, I once had a Mark V Cortina for about a year.
Okay.
Yes, I had one of them for about 2-3 years.
All right.
It eventually died.
Gearboxes. Yeah, the first car was a Mini Clubman Traveller, so that was the estate version. 2-door estate car with an 1100cc engine that went off the clock at 90. Absolute little rocket that thing was.
Was it a Clubman or a standard one?
It was a Clubman. It was a Clubman Traveller
Yeah.
in red.
My best friend had one of those in Tundra Green.
Oh, green. Oh.
Yeah, it was.
At least mine was in Ghostmaster red.
Yeah, my father had a Morris Minor when I was a kid. It was in olive drab, I guess you call it.
OD.
Yeah.
Horribly ugly little thing, I swear.
Yeah.
It's a good thing
That
where we
Tundra-
lived was flat, because that thing had about enough power to pull a grease string out of a sick duck's backside, and that was it.
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, I did have some stuff ready for a stream tonight, but we're sort of getting started late, so I could miss Lindsay.
Voice.
I could skip the Lindsay.
Well, I think that's a question for the peanuts. Do you want a Lindsay?
Do we want Lindsay? Let me put a poll. We'll see if we get a.
Put up a poll.
Do
Do you want Lindsay, or do you want to disembowel yourself with a blunt spoon?
Colours was skip.
Skip. You can skip if you like. Yeah. One way keeping fit.
Hang on. Not typing fast enough. Ask community. Oh, I want them to. Okay, ask community.
I want to scoop out my eye. Just one. That's a curse. That makes sense. So you can still see, you just haven't got binocular vision anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you won't be able to see Lindsay if you skip out both eyes. Go on.
Don't seem to have given them a... Sorry, Al, go on.
Cut out his heart with a spoon. Because you just got to love Alan Rickman, haven't you?
Oh, he's
Oh, yes.
superb. Absolutely. Any film with Alan Rickman in was worth watching.
I do have a.
I believe he was in Dogma.
Alan Rickman. He was.
Yes.
He was the fallen
was,
angel.
he was
not fallen angel. He was
wasn't
the
he
angel.
God, he was Metatron.
Gabriel. Oh, Metatron. Yeah.
Gabriel.
Sorry.
That's right. And proving that he'd got no genitals.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
That was it. Yeah. So I presumably I want to scoop out my eye is yes.
You can
As there's
take
a
it
no.
out. As you take it how you want. I'm on 50% yes and 50%.
50-50 now. I've just voted.
Most people want to skip out their eye. Oh,
Fine.
oh dear. Yeah.
You want to scoop out your eyes. I'll catch the tail end of Lindsay once I've made another cup of tea.
Exactly. I was looking for a chance to go make a brew.
Exactly. Precise. Oh, it's Lindsay time. I'll go and put the kettle on again.
Oh dear. I've got a 13-minute video. There you go from Lindsay. Looks like we had
Yeah,
a
because
50%.
he's put out at least a couple, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think.
If we don't keep, we'll lose track. So yes, looks like I'll have to close the poll in favour of scooping out their eyes. Okay. We are scooping out our eyes and watching a Lindsay. I'll put it on speed. Hang on a sec. Switch over. Lindsay. Tell me if you can or can't hear Lindsay. He's not saying anything yet. I need to share it in Discord.
Hi there, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. Everything's in regards to man's spiritual enlightenment, his illumination, the illumination of the sun in the creation story of our universe, and flat earth. What all the ancients knew about our flat earth system. All fact. All put down as myths and legends by the
to us because we can hear it through the Discord app anyway.
Okay, so what would you let me do? You can hear it through Discord, and I shared it so
we can
you
hear
can
it through
catch. Yeah,
and you shared it into here.
I shared
as
it
well.
in Discord so you can see it live on our time and not with the YouTube delay. So, and I stopped it because...
But we can also hear it in there.
Yeah, you might have to mute one of the sources. And I need to do something a bit more important and put him on Lindsay speed, because... Lindsay speed. Okay, I'll push play. Give me a yell if it's a problem.
Delusional, basically. You can't debunk anything I describe about the flat earth system. It all works. So this video is about what we call the ancient Egyptian light bulb, and how there's been many interpretations of what they meant. But this came to me one night, just out of the blue. I wasn't thinking about it, but it might have been connected to the book, the Norse mythology creation story I was reading, but there was no mention of that sort of thing in there. But this just woke me up in the middle of the night. It's clear as anything. Exactly what it is. Well, I think it's exactly what it is, so you can determine for yourselves. It's never been explained before. So let's just draw basically what it looks like. So it's a picture like this, right? And this going down here, and this going right through this. And then it looks like the head of a snake up here, right? There's a man standing down here. Looks like he's holding it. And then up here is the, under here is the 1, 2, 4 sort of the Dijet, is it? Called the Dijet thing? The Egyptian Dijet? The power, basically the power, well, how do you describe it? It's the powerhouse. It's the energy system, the dielectric, the magnetic induction system. So this part here represents the tropical gap of our Earth in our flat Earth design. This here represents the Milky Way, because the Milky Way is it's connected from here over to here. So basically, I'm drawing the system like this. And how it came, what was happening in the dream is, it starts like this. Oops, that's a bit deep. So there's the images it's giving me. So there's your wheel, and there's the other wheel. There's the axle. And it took the wheel off, and then it fell down. So it fell down from the center. This is the center. So basically, it's like this, and it spun from the center. So there's the center. There's the Milky Way coming out of the tropics. So it dropped down, and then you just turn it. And this zone here is this zone here of the tropics. That's the powerhouse. In the Manly system, it's the substation between the rib cage. It's the whole Adam and Eve story too, because it's the atom, the rib cage. This is the power station. It's this actual solar plexus. That represents this too. In the centre there, see? This is the planted seed that will activate during a solar eclipse, and then after that, 17 days later, the full moon, then everything starts working up here in his head. That's a different story, but there's plenty of that stuff in my previous videos. So this bulb represents the Milky Way, okay? There's the magnetic field. The snake always represents the magnetic field, but you can also put it as the Milky Way. The helix.
Okay.
So no one's ever explained that before. So that's it, guys. As far as I'm concerned, done and dusted. That's what it means. I understand all the other Egyptian symbols too. Pretty much, know them all. I understand what they're saying. All life is created through here. Check out my earlier video on the fallopian tube. The Milky Way. There's a Milky Way that turns around the flat Earth.
I thought that was a snake.
One end just sits in there, the bottom, and the wheel rolls around 24/7, 360 degrees over 24 hours. That's the base of it all, but we see it slightly differently because it's acting with the ecliptic plane, the tilting of the ecliptic plane, and the sun follows that magnetic field, so that it's getting broader and wider, and then comes back in, so it goes down and out, and then up and in. But that's basically it, guys. The ancient so-called Egyptian light bulb is representing the Milky Way. Remember, this powerhouse here is actually a blown up image of what's back here in creation. Look at the size of that created world when creation is about that big, not even that. All to do with magnification of lensing in water. And have you all seen the glass of water? You've seen the arrows like this?
My glass of water doesn't have arrows.
Like that? You put a glass of water in front of them, they'll still look like that. No, sorry, a glass in front of them, you'll still see the arrow like that. But as soon as you put water in the glass, what happens? The complete opposite.
Yeah.
That will help people start understanding why we get a mirror image in the southern hemisphere. You could say the glass of water is the dielectric.
But it's not a mirror image.
It's in magnetic induction motors. How like a 3-phase motor, how the 120 phasing shifts. You have to go deeper to that. Diverts. The same thing. It's
Is it a mirror
effect.
image or is it divert?
Well, all the southern hemisphere is mirrored to the north. We'll see the Milky Way come out like this. In the south it comes like this. As it's travelling northeast to be exposed to us. In the southern hemisphere it's coming from southeast to be exposed to us. It can be proven easily. You only have to track the stars when they first turn up in the evening in the southwest. And you can just track them moving west.
You do.
Then they start coming around northwest, north, and start going east over your arc of horizon. Understanding this, how everything moves around here, well the ecliptic plane does, the planets, but the stars do all these shapes, but that's from my previous videos. Another thing to observe, to understand that man's arc of horizon, the flat Earth system, is Orion's belt. Orion's belt, there, rising. Up here, it's like level over your dome. Wait till the end of the night and it's down in the west, vertical. Everything passes over man's arc of horizon. The Egyptians tell it all. It's all there in black and white, but people are just too ignorant to flip and read it and understand it because they've all been brainwashed actually from the spinning ball theory bullshit from school. This is so obvious. The Orion's belt is dead centre of this tropical zone, the celestial equator. It moves around every day till the sun catches up, because the sun's in here too. The sun will catch up and lose it for 3 months, so we can't see in the light of the sun for 3 months. But then the sun passes by, continues on its journey, and then exposes it again for us to see it for another 9 months. Otherwise, how do you explain 9 months seen, 3 months not seen, if the Earth's a spinning ball and everything's equal? No, it's 100% proof you live on a flat Earth, and that's the way it works. Just because we can't perceive things up here doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Metaphysics. Physics come from metaphysics, except they can't figure it out. It never equates fully, unless they understand the whole metaphysical system. What we perceive and what actually goes on is slightly different. And that was all there was to that video, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Now you know. Go spread the word what that light means. Axis mundi, the centre of creation. Axle, where axle comes from. Drop the axle, then the wheel will roll around. The dung beetle rolling the ball. It's in Egyptian mythology. Or the solid boat. The solid boat. Understand the snake that's inside the bulb. Everything. The jet. The powerhouse. I'm not sure why they have only 4 horizontals on it. Might have something to do with there's 7 like atmospheric layers of gradients of pressure that the hydrogen molecule is moving through. But it could be the top 4. They're the most significant, where they're shredded and reformed. But the molecule is shredded as it comes up through ionization, so you get on your lightning and stuff. But it goes through the choke point to be recombined, to form. It goes through the choke point to be reconformed into other states of matter. We call it that, because that's the recycling system. And that hydrogen molecule hits the plasma sun, the real sun we don't see, turns back into liquid water. It's coming down to drop down into the Beaufort Gyre, the sinkhole, the well that feeds the subterranean aqueducts of our Earth to come to the tropical region. We call a well. It's all around underneath here. Well, to then be released and go back up again. The energised hydrogen molecule cell. Thanks, guys. Be sure to subscribe and put up a thumb, a like. Cheers.
I think people were putting up fingers, but I wasn't sure it was the thumb. Yes. Dear. Oh dear, that was a bit sad. Probably. I do think he's getting a little
subterranean well.
He's getting a little bit further
all the
out
water
there.
in the Beaufort Gyre is going down this big well that's the bottom of the Arctic Ocean and then travelling underground.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
So I want to know what causes the mirror image. Obviously saying it's passing through something, right? So.
Oh, I want to know where these other states of matter of hydrogen molecules are.
Oh, okay.
I've only ever seen hydrogen molecules in 2 states, and that's gaseous and plasma.
Yes, maybe it's yeah. How many states do they have in New Zealand?
Was it just a state of independence?
They have 2, sane and insane.
Yes, insane. Well, they don't have states, they have regions. Provinces. So, apparently. There you go.
I shall ask you, Paul, because it's easier than trying to go. Can you not liquefy hydrogen?
Only under very, very extreme pressure.
Okay.
Well, there you go. You went quiet when I had something and chewing something, so try not to talk when I'm eating. What else have we got? Oh, did anyone? I came across this thing from Minuteman. I don't know if anyone's seen that one. I don't know if you guys know who Minuteman. Where's my playlist gone?
Yeah, he's quite interesting.
Yeah. Let me switch back.
Not sure I've seen him before. Don't think so.
He's archaeology more than anything else. But
Right.
he has done a few things on Flat Earth. He does a few shorts on TikTok, and so he likes to have a go at the idiot stuff that goes on TikTok. But I found this longer one from him, which I'll play it, where he found an old textbook. And I thought, go through that and see what he says.
It is a cold, snowy night here in New England. It's our first actual snow of the season, which is something that I've been greatly looking forward to. It's probably not going to stick, but then again, that would probably be asking too much. Now, with the holidays bearing down on us faster than any of us care to admit, it's safe to say that we've all been incredibly busy. I myself have been finishing up the project that I alluded to in my last video, which has been taking up more of my time than I care to admit. Now, personally, when I think of what I want to do on a snowy New England night, there is nothing that fits the bill more than sitting next to a fire and reading a book. Now, we have a fireplace, which is a pretty good start, and we even have a book. This is no ordinary book, however. This is a very, very old book. I'm a big fan of collecting old books, especially books that pertain to history and science, because typically they end up so outdated that they are absolutely hilarious to read. This book is Goodrich's Comprehensive Geography and History, both Ancient and Modern, and it was published in the year of our Lord, 1855. I picked this up at a flea market a little while back, and it has some truly beautiful maps and woodcuts as well, and also some views of the world that will make you go, wow, that was the most horrible thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So I thought it could be a nice way to round out this year to have all of us come together on this snowy night, and I'll read you a book. But if we're gonna do this right, we're making a goddamn fire.
Good thing is I can let's get past the fire.
Have a look at Goodrich's Comprehensive Geography and History of the Ancient and Modern World from 1855. The illustrations in it are absolutely beautiful. I got my little dual camera set up here. I'm almost pretending to be professional a little bit. The shape of the Earth is that of a globe, ball, or sphere. In the early ages of the world, mankind supposed the Earth to be a vast plain, terminating on all sides in a shoreless sea or a region of darkness. I'm so glad that we have stopped thinking about stupid shit like that. This idea prevailed until about 400 years ago when the true form of the Earth was ascertained. Good word. SAT points. Though some philosophers seem to have suspected the globular form of the Earth at an earlier date. Go figure. Zones and climates. Man, the fucking art in here is beautiful. Hey, view of the Earth is seen from the moon, as illustrated in 1855. Have a look at that.
So there you go. There's one textbook that doesn't say the Earth was flat from 1855.
Quite.
Not a surprise, though.
That's beautiful. I like that Saturn is like the size of, I don't know. I don't even know what those other planets are, but whatever it is, Saturn is the same size as that guy. That probably isn't good. The various objects of the Earth are divided by natural lists into 3 classes or kingdoms. The mineral, including the soils, rocks, and waters. The vegetable, including trees, plants, and shrubs. And the animal, including all beings which live, feel, and move. Animals are endowed with instincts, which guide them in the pursuit of happiness. But man must reach his maturity and perfection by means of education. Uneducated man is savage. So we can already see where this book is going to tend. You're going to see some a lot of that sort of savagery narrative. I'm going to have a little sip of this and then read about the savages. Antiquity of the Earth. By examining the surface of the Earth, geologists have come to the conclusion that the globe on which we live has existed for many thousands of years. So, something we're going to see as we kind of work our way through this book is that obviously there are some scientific principles that they just don't have a very good grasp on. But, you know, as much as it's easy to laugh at that because it's so blatantly outdated, it's a really interesting point to read at because, you know, it illustrates this really interesting time where the, you know, traditional European views of, you know, creation are now being challenged by the scientific views of, well, science and fact. Earth prepared for man. Previous to this time, no human beings had existed on Earth. But at last the Earth was fitted and prepared to be the abode of man. Adam...
Okay, because it's quite long, I'm going to skip a little bit. This bit says it is the most replayed, so let's see what is the most replayed bit.
That, so I'm going to let you guys unpack that one. Alright, what do they have to say about Africa? The greater part of Africa lies within the tropics, and here are the hottest portions of the globe. The country is remarkable... The country? That is the biggest goddamn country I've ever seen! The country is remarkable for many curious animals and a peculiar race of people... Wow, I'm not going to say that one. We're going to put that up on Still Store, Cambot. What do you think of that, Gianfranco? You think that's problematic? I don't know if I can say that. But I like that I'm talking to this camera like it's my editor. How you doing, Gianfranco? It's good to have you here, man. Let's move on to North America. Alright, I think our geographic information about North America is probably pretty unchanged. I don't think any new mountain ranges have come up since 1855. Oh my god, look at this map. That is so great. Holy shit. Yeah, so Oklahoma is still Indian territory. Nebraska is one big piece of land. The Dakotas aren't even a thing yet. It's just one big Minnesota. We got our gold region.
So do you remember that map came out, Blue?
Right here, mouth of the Mississippi, Colorado River. Man, that's cool. The United States occupy the middle part of North America and are remarkable as being the most enlightened and populous country in America and the most powerful republic in the world. That's funny. I guess this was before the United States of America became synonymous with America. The Indians are greatly reduced from their original population and probably do not exceed 400,000. Some of them have partly adopted the habits of civilized life, but many of them still make hunting and war their chief pursuits. Okay, at least try to not make them sound so awesome when you're trying to write your propaganda book. What do you guys do? Well, we go into these giant factories and then we just make cotton textile until we either are done after a 12-hour day or my leg gets ripped off. Why? What do you do? Hunting and war. Oh, there we go, baby. Look at that fucking map. She's so beautiful. We're moving along. Yeah, New England, let's go. All right, New England, what do we got? Historical incidents. Indian wars. At the time of the first attempts at settlement in Maine, it appears to have been the residence of powerful tribes of Indians. It appears to be? Is it that hard for you to fucking tell that? Prowling bands of savages roamed throughout Maine and New Hampshire. I do have to say that this book has aged like a fine wine. The frontier settlers.
This bit and the next bit are actually quite funny, so I would keep with it for a minute.
Settlers were obliged to abandon the cultivation of their fields and collect in fortified dwellings for the purposes of defense. These were often attacked, and though bravely defended, were sometimes overwhelmed by numbers, and men, women, and children put to the sword, or reserved for torture and captivity. Look into the fire. Think of the horrors. Think of the atrocities. Massachusetts! Let's go! Oh my god, Faneuil Hall, look at that. Gianfranco, do us a favor. Have a look at this map and then do an overlay of the city of Boston. Boston's my home city, for those of you that don't know. But they have done so much infill to the city of Boston, they have completely changed the geography of it, so it's practically unrecognizable from what it looked like when people got here. King Philip's War! What's it say about... King Philip's War, I feel like people don't talk about enough, but it's the closest that the indigenous population of North America ever got to wiping the colonial presence back into the sea and pushing them back to England. So let's see what they have to say about it. King Philip's War. This celebrated contest has been already mentioned. It began in June of 1675 and continued 3 years. Many villages in New England were laid in ashes and many hundreds of whites lost their lives. No indigenous people though. None of them died. They were all fine. War and farming, or war and fucking hunting. I don't remember. The very existence of the colonies seemed to be threatened, but the English finally prevailed. Thank God. Salem witchcraft. Here we go. This extraordinary delusion commenced at Danvers, then a part of Salem, in 1692. It was a general belief at the time that Satan sometimes enters the bodies of persons and gives them extraordinary powers. I like that. It sounds so quaint. Watch this dad have extraordinary powers. Who's that? Goku just melt someone's face off. Some children in a pious family in Danvers being moved with strange caprices? Praises? What the fuck is that? Were supposed to be thus in league with the devil. Other persons were soon imagined to be infested with the terrible mania. Shortly after, a number of those were seized and thrown in prison. 20 were tried and suffered death. That does sound pretty suffery. And at length, the whole community began to ask, where will this end? I cannot believe they have a quote in here. It's like a fucking voiceover. Yeah, you're probably wondering how I got here, being crushed to death under rocks at the Salem witch trials. A little calm reflection showed that the whole affair had been an unhappy delusion. Too bad we killed like 30 people. God, I love Massachusetts. We have such a fucking weird history. Oh my god, what's this page? Is it today's sponsor is HelloFresh? No. Wow, that's weird. I had no idea that. Monetized, isn't it? You know what? America's making me angry. I'm going to a different country. The territory of New Mexico. That's not a different country. Russian America. Wait, okay, this is where this shit gets interesting. Russian America. Yeah, look at that. How bizarre. Alaska. Well, not Alaska. Russian America, I guess. Oh my god, I literally cannot get away from the fucking racism. I was like, oh cool, how many people live here? Let's read the inhabitants section. The whole population is supposed to be about 10,000, 1,500 of whom are Europeans, and the rest are savages. Oh, hey, that's actually interesting. The term Eskimo, which is now an outdated term for the people who prefer to be called Inuit, the name Eskimo allegedly originated from a French word which meant the people of the snowshoe. And here it was Eskimo, like A-U-X, and it's actually written that way in this book, which is kind of interesting. That's very, very cool. Cool little relic. Well, let's read about this. The latter are partly Eskimo and tribes of Indians blended with those. They all live by fishing and hunting, and are a rude, ignorant, and inoffensive race. We've failed as a species. Okay, let's learn.
Okay.
Institution, they seem to know very little. Well, thank God for the intercourse with the Spaniards, because we all know that politics is genetic. All right, we're going across the pond. England. This is the last place I want to be. There's literally more on England than there is on the entire continent of Africa. Which I guess, like, again, for the time, it does make sense. They just didn't have as much information about it, but it's still really funny. A knight, a guy with a shield, a guy with a stupid hat, a horse-drawn carriage, another guy with a stupid hat. Scotland. This is the shit that I want to read about. Hell yeah. Look at that guy. My man's got a little basket. We love that. Characteristics. This country occupies the northern portion of the island of Great Britain and is noted for the wild mountain scenery and beautiful lakes. Near Perth are circular towers of unknown origin. There are large enclosures with vertified walls in several places. In the south are vestiges of Roman roads and camps, and part of Antonine's Wall, which extends from the Forth of the Clyde. I don't know what that means. The first inhabitants of Scotland are supposed to have been a branch of the Cimbri, who migrated thither from Denmark. About 200 BC, these first settlers were driven out by another tribe called the Picts or the Caledones, whence Scotland was called Caledonia by the Romans. It appears there were several tribes, and historians speak of them as Picts and Scots. Ireland. What do we have to say about Ireland?
Do you have any comment on their English? Yes.
No.
You want to skip through England. That's okay. At least you get a mention. Anyway, wrapping up. We won't go through that. Any new things. But he's an interesting guy. A lot of his shorts, which are pretty good.
Some of his geology stuff's pretty good as well.
Yeah,
particularly in the Northeast, a large part of the population.
Sorry, stop that. Yeah, definitely for history or archaeology. But as I said, yes, he has had a few goes at flat earthers on some of his shorts. So I had a few of those. Basically,
he'll have a go at anybody who's deliberately an idiot, though, won't he?
Yes, any science that's just silly, he'll point it out. What else have I got?
I saw Martimer had another Spirit Science video drop yesterday.
Martimer? I don't know that one.
Martimer 81.
I don't follow
he
that
hadn't
one.
been around for a long time.
I don't follow that one, I gotta admit.
Pinpoint asteroids in orbit and hurl.
You'll have to send me a link. I found this one
Let me just go find it.
I found this one a few weeks ago. This was what's his name? Earth is Life, with a Bevian named
Beeble.
Sugar Cookie, Beeble.
Oh yeah, Beeble.
Who was discussing things with a Bevian named Sugar Cookie.
Yes.
So let's see what he's got.
Throw y'all thousands of miles an hour towards it.
The level of things that flat earthers don't understand is astronomical. But my recent encounter in the Bev Try Thinking Discord server with a gentleman named Sugar Cookie has taken my understanding of what the Bevians don't understand to an all-new high. So I hopped in just to do a little bit of responsible trolling. And yes, I'm guilty of having a morbid fascination with people who deny reality, mathematics, and physics in the face of overwhelming evidence. So I started posting a few memes just to shake things up a bit. Then one of the Bevians responded with this. Look, the turtle was higher than the neighbor's roof. It's proof. This is the image that turned me. I looked at it for 201 hours and the only thing I could think of was that the turtle was higher than the neighbor's roof. Then I called my online FE friends and said, I can't do this anymore. The turtle spoke to me. The neighbor's roof proves Earth curve. And now here I am, humbled, a new man. Please forgive me. This was obviously a failed attempt to make fun of the image that brought ranty Flat Earth back to the globe. At first, I wasn't sure if he was trolling or if he genuinely didn't understand eye level. So then I asked this question. Where is eye level in this diagram? I had to ask the same question several times for him to reply. So then I tried a different approach. I asked, where is eye level in his own picture? At this point, he begins to spiral out of control, and he posts a bunch of irrelevant pictures that I've posted in the past. One of my auto level where he proceeded to ask me where eye level is, which I promptly showed him exactly where eye level is. Yeah, this one really triggers them. And another where I drew a triangle on a sphere and showed that on a sphere, a triangle will always have more than 180 degrees. Yeah, the Bevians don't really believe in spherical geometry. I continued to ask about eye level, but it was clear to me that he truly didn't understand what eye level means. Well, Mr. Sugar Cookie, let's break it down so in the future you won't be so confused. Then you can take this newly found knowledge back to all your buddies over at Bev's server. Hopefully they won't ban you for finally learning something. I know Bev runs a tight ship over there, and I wouldn't want to cause any friction between you and your flurf daddy. So pay attention, Mr. Sugar Cookie. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually...
Oops, sorry. I forgot. I heard it, but I didn't see you actually posted stuff from there. I was just having a quick stop so I could quickly read it. Level of terror, yeah, basically just repeating Bevian. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Want to cause any friction between you and your flurf daddy. So pay attention, Mr. Sugar Cookie. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually saying Sugar Cookie. Eye level simply refers to the height of your eyes above the surface you are standing on when looking horizontally. If your eyes are roughly 5 foot 7 inches above the ground, that's your eye level. We can also use precise tools to measure the height of eye level. In land surveying, the surveyor's eye level is typically measured as the height of the instrument they're using, such as a theodolite, total station, or an auto level. This measurement is important because it determines the line of sight that the surveyor has when taking measurements and affects the accuracy of their observations. In photography, eye level refers to the height of the camera above the ground. Depending on the angle at which your camera is facing, eye level can also be determined simply by observing perspective lines in the image if they're visible.
This is a very typical sort of scene used to describe eye level. Part of its value is pointing out that eye level is just that, it's eye level. But it's not particularly the eye level of the people in the scene. It's the eye level of the person looking at the scene or the level of the camera that took the photo. Eye level can be a little bit misleading if we think it means the eye level of the people in the scene. But if the photographer is standing on the same level as the people in the scene, eye level will in fact line up with the eye level of the people there. It's important to find eye level because we know that the perspective lines angle down and meet on the eye level. And if we just take two lines, we can see that they meet on the eye level. Eye level is often called the horizon, but I find that misleading because it doesn't necessarily line up with the actual horizon on the picture.
Using the theodolite act called dioptra, the angle of your camera can be precisely positioned horizontally and vertically so that the position of the crosshairs create a horizontal plane that remains at the same height above the flat surface as demonstrated here. As I slide the white block away from the camera, the crosshairs remain at a fixed position on the block. Why? Because the crosshairs and the black line on the block are at the same elevation above the surface. So I hope that clears things up for you about eye level. Now, getting back to Mr. Sugar Cookie's picture, the reason why the turtle appears to be above the house is because you are lower than the turtle. You, the turtle, and the top of the house are at different heights above the ground. And just
see one of your favourites, farmers?
What, Sugar Cookie? No.
Yeah, no.
Judging by the position of your camera, your eye level is about right here. This observation should have been self-evident, but knowing that you come from a group of people that think level and horizontal are the same thing, I am not surprised at your level of incompetence and misunderstanding. Once again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. And please, check out the rest of my videos if you're interested. And as always, peace.
Pinpoint asteroids in orbit, then hurl y'all.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, worth his life. Yeah. I thought I recognised his voice.
Hey, Matt.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you going? What can I say?
What's cracking?
What's cracking? I was going to say if Paul's been too busy to do a quiz, or is he?
No, I've got a quiz.
You got a quiz? Well, how about I set up a Zoom? You can do your quiz.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so
While
I'm doing that, while you're doing that, how are you? I was going to say, is everything good at home, etc. Matt, you been getting away?
It's different. We're adjusting slowly.
Yeah.
We've now introduced somebody else into the home as well, another cat. Yeah,
Hey.
it's kind of interesting. It's fun actually.
Can't have too many cats.
Yeah, two females have been resident in this house for a number of years, and we've just introduced a young male cat.
That could be, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's been a week, and it slowly just sort of get to the point where they're just about tolerant each other, only just slowly at the moment, but it's getting there. It's all right.
Yeah, they'll sort themselves out, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. We just let them go on with it. If they have a scrap, they have a scrap. It's just let them go do what cats do.
Well, it's like mine two. Years ago they sorted themselves out. One was downstairs, one was upstairs, and that was it.
Yeah, well,
I still can't get Squeak to realise she's now got the run of the fucking house. She just
doesn't get it. Yeah.
Stupid cat.
Habits, I suppose. I mean, we had two cats we had originally, two females. The is actually the mother and the daughter. But as you know, mother cats reject their kittens around about 6-8 weeks or something like that. And I mean they would tolerate each other being in the same room, but if Misty, the black cat, the young one, gets too close to her mother, mother will get away from me.
Yeah, they can quite often be like, right, I've done my bit. You're now big enough to look after yourself. Piss off.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Oh, all right then. Yeah, they can get like that. It's quite common.
So they got to the point now where they're just kind of I think they just about tolerate the male being in the same room, but if he gets any more than a couple of meters or a meter or two closer, then it's it's like no, go away.
Yeah, so my two were like that. When they were kittens, they were fine. And then I think when Bubble discovered that she could wait for her sister to go out of the house through the cat flap, then not let her back in by basically standing or sitting in front of the cat flap indoors all day. She could eat all the cat food, and her sister couldn't get in to get at it. And she was almost twice the weight of her sister at one point, and I think Squeak just never forgave her for it, and just ever since then just didn't like her. Just they'd get close to each other if they were being fed or giving them treats or something, but other than that, no, just couldn't abide each other. I think Squeak didn't like Bubble. I think Bubble just sat there and thought, what's the problem? And she held that grudge for nigh on 17 years.
So is anyone who didn't like Bubble and Squeak? I've sent you links in your chat. Directly in DMs. So, because I don't have in Terry's server, I don't have a spot. I don't want to give it out publicly that other people might jump in. So, that's pulling up. I'll switch that over so that people can see Zoom.
Don't have to come out of here.
There we go. I just realised we didn't have a What's of the week. I started a bit late.
So what's your time limit? How much time have you got?
I got 40 minutes from now. Ish.
Okay, right.
But we only need to get through the quiz.
Yep.
Paul, you there?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
That's all right. Just checking you. I hadn't lost you. That was all.
Getting there.
That's okay. There he is. Oh, well, look, and we do have a... Did someone get that already? Because I haven't been keeping track of the chat.
No, I don't.
No, I haven't put a clue in the chat.
That's all right. That's just keeping track because I'm sort of looking at too many things at once. And
I know. Yeah, multiple.
So I'll give you
a.
I will give you a verbal clue then.
Okay.
The verbal clue is that he was a Nobel Prize winner. That doesn't narrow it down much, though, does it?
Reduces quite a bit of the world population. Here you go.
He got his Nobel Prize for the discovery of nuclear magnetic resonance. And he worked on cavity magnetrons and stuff like that, which is important, of course, for microwave radar and microwave ovens. Yeah.
It was Bev.
It was Bev.
No.
Resonance.
If Bev ever achieves anything as meaningful and useful as that, I'll eat my hat.
Okay.
That's interesting. So it wasn't Richard Robert Ernst. Sorry.
Only if you spell it completely wrong.
Yes.
Something R.
Something R.
No, obviously, I typed in Nobel Prizes for magnetic resonance, and I got something completely.
He was an American physicist, but he was actually born in Israel, so that might give you a bit of a clue.
Oy vey.
Well, it's not this guy. I've got it now. I've found it. My Google Foo has found it. I'll put it in the chat to Paul. There it is. There we go. There he is. That guy.
That is him, Timbo. Your Google Foo is powerful.
Long as it's faster than we haven't got. Here we got Carl. We got Carl on. Carl's all right. No, they're all pretty good. But
Carl has come back with Mr. Ruiz.
Mr. Ruiz. No.
Mr. Ruiz is not right. Let me get the chat up again, seeing as I moved my thing. Come on.
No. It's not him.
The chat goes in different spots depending on
Carl says
whether I've got it maximized or...
Ignazio Ruiz. And
no, it's not Mr. Ruiz. Anyway, I better share the quiz, hey? Otherwise we might run out of time.
Quiz. Exactly.
Well, I did make it a bit easier this time, so you need to give me access to sharing, Timbo.
Why didn't it just do that?
Because it doesn't.
It doesn't. I've got to go into here and then do that, and then you should have access now.
I do.
I will. Yes.
Alrighty.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry.
Sorry. I didn't know that.
Okay, shall we go? Can't waste our time watching this.
Go for it.
No, I suppose we can watch that in our own time, can't we?
Quick.
Yeah, you can.
Before the missus comes in.
All right. Okay, while fish do not possess this organ, some species have modifications to their pelvic or anal fins for a similar effect. What organ is this?
Do you know, I've got to say it. I'm going to have to type it, even if I'm wrong.
Not lungs. You are correct, Farmer's Boy.
It just had to be done.
It had to be done, yeah. You are correct. And Nerd Alert comes out with it quickly too. Well done on the first clue. I'll give you the others anyway.
Well, when Farmer's got it right, I knew what his answer was.
Yeah. Insects achieve the same functional end with an ediogus.
Oh, that's a bit. Oh, blimey.
In ducks, redistribution of lymph to this organ can provide a similar function to the baculum and corpus cavernosum seen in mammalian species. So they shit out their infections. In pigs, this organ is corkscrew shaped. That should have given it away.
Yes.
While that of an echidna has keratinized spines and 4 heads.
Blimey.
Oh, yeah. They're pretty awesome looking too. You'll see. Name this male sexual organ used to deposit sperm into the female. That's an echidna penis. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Yeah. Bloody hell.
It's a mean looking thing.
And it's just, you want to stick that where?
Yeah. Okay. Question 2. This power declined after the Battle of Colchel, where it was defeated by the Rajah of Travancore. What power is this?
Okay.
Not the Mughals.
Not the Mughals.
In order to sell their deerskins to Japan, it fought the Ming Dynasty and Spain for control of Taiwan. Not Tartaria. It exported pepper from the Moluccas, but was unable to displace Portuguese sandalwood traders from Timor.
Oh, was it?
Who were these people? What power was this?
Is that it?
You're not quite right, Farmer's Boy, but you are so close. Same with that Timbo turtle.
Oh, if it's not that
That's
one.
the one, Alan. You got it right, Alan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
well
that
done.
then.
Yeah, it's the one with that one in front of it. Yeah. Its stronghold at Malacca was occupied by the British after the Batavian Revolution. There you go. Carl Edwards has got it right. Yeah. It's the Dutch East India Company, not just the East India Company, the Dutch East India Company, yeah. Because the letters VOC on a white, blue and orange flag symbolised what multinational trading corporation headquartered in Amsterdam? The Dutch East India Company, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of East India companies in
Yeah.
various places around the world.
I suppose so, yeah.
Yep. Question 3. In 1968, his music was used in a Lion's Maid advert. Whose music?
Oh, bloody hell.
What's Lion's Maid?
Ice cream.
Ice cream,
Ice
yeah.
lollies.
Not Buddy Holly, not Multi Tom Tom.
That's not going to sell anything, is it?
Not Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac, yay! Fleetwood Mac, shout out.
He used sped-up vocals on a 1967 novelty single, pasticing Anthony Newley, which failed to make the charts, entitled The Laughing Gnome. Come on, Farmer's Boy, you got to know this one now.
That one?
That's the one, Farmer's Boy. I knew you'd know it after that clue.
Well, with that clue, yeah, it could only be
Yeah.
one. I think the Lion's Maid thing is probably a bit before my time, because obviously I wasn't born in 68, but even if it carried on, I can't remember it.
This man recorded his Berlin trilogy of albums with Brian Eno in the late 1970s and wrote the Mott the Hoople hit All the Young Dudes. Who was it?
Oh, yes. I should give it away.
I have no idea, says Carl Edwards. Come on.
I've seen him playing live.
I know the tune as well, but it's annoying, but I can't think who it is.
Oh, for God's sake.
Young dude.
Wrongly believed to have different coloured eyes, named this British singer-songwriter with real name David Jones, whose UK #1 hits include Ashes to Ashes and Space Oddity. Come on, you should get it now. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that guy. That guy, Carl.
That guy. Yeah.
That guy.
I've seen him singing All the Young Dudes with the guy from Mott the Hoople live.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is that the one, Paul? I got it.
It is David Bowie.
Oh, David Bowie got Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah.
Well,
Ziggy
that was
Stardust
David
is a,
Bowie.
Ziggy Stardust
that was
is
one
a,
of his
That
alter
is David
egos,
Bowie.
yeah.
is a
Yeah.
character.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a character played by David Bowie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
There was a brilliant meme when the first SpaceX Heavy put Tesla's car into space.
Right. Yeah.
There was a meme, and David Bowie once played Tesla in a film or something.
Oh, really?
The top version was David Bowie playing Tesla, and then the bottom version was Tesla playing David Bowie. And of course, it was the whole SpaceX mission with the car. Because as the fairing separated, they were playing David Bowie, weren't they?
I mean, saying is it Ziggy Stardust, Matt, is like saying, is it Dame Edna Everage? I mean, there is no real person called Dame Edna Everage.
Yeah.
It's Barry Humphries, of course, you know.
Hello, possums.
Yeah. All right, question 4. This quantity can be used to estimate one source of the Seebeck effect, phonon electron drag. What quantity is this?
Greater than 0.
Debye modeled this quantity by considering a lattice populated by quantized vibrations, allowing the derivation of this quantity's T³ dependence at low temperatures. What quantity?
No idea yet. Not even an inkling.
Not quantum foam? No. The Dulong-Petit law holds that this quantity approaches 3 times the molar gas constant for a mole of any solid substance. What quantity is it? No. Oh.
Oops.
Oops. There you go. Name this quantity of energy required to change the temperature of a body by a given amount.
I missed that, sadly.
Well, you can rewatch it on the stream.
I could. I could.
You're close, Nerdlet, but not quite right. It is just plain old.
Just heat?
Plain old heat capacity, not specific heat capacity.
Oh.
Just heat capacity. Yeah. All right, next question.
Good.
Question 5. This man, so it's a man, developed an equation which contains a collision term which is determined by the molecular chaos assumption.
Okay. Well, we've got half the population eliminated.
It's not that smart either. A constant named for this man appears raised to the 4th power in the numerator of Stefan's constant. Not Herbert Holtzman.
Herbert.
Good old Herbert.
An equation which relates the natural log of the number of a system's available microstates to the system's entropy is engraved on this man's tombstone. Who is it? That's the one, Alan Evans. And nerd alert, it is Boltzmann. Does anyone know what his first name was?
Bob.
No. Name this Austrian chemist who names the distribution particles, speeds in gas with James Maxwell. It is indeed that man. Anyone know what his first name was?
Stefan.
It was Ludwig.
Oh no, Stefan Bostick.
Of course it is.
Ludwig Bostick.
Should have been Bernie. Bernie Boltzmann.
Bernie Boltzmann.
Bob would have been better.
Oh, that was Bernie the Bolt.
Yeah, Bernie the Bolt.
If you ever watched The Golden Shot.
Let's go back some minute.
Boltzmann
Yeah, that is going back some.
Yeah, Boltzmann actually committed suicide.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good.
Sad. Yeah. In the initial stages of this larger battle, The eventual losers captured the town of Prokhorovka.
I was just going to wait for you to finish the question.
Okay. You know already, don't you?
I think so, yes.
You do too. Yeah.
A larger battle
of Sevastopol
is something of an understatement.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I know roughly the stage of the World War II of this. Roughly.
It marked the battlefield debut of the Ferdinand, a vehicle designed by the Porsche factory that was later reintroduced as the Elephant.
There was one on loan to a certain museum over here a year or two back, and I stood next to it, and ye gods, what a beast!
Alan and Farmer's Boy have got it. Yeah.
Really is quite something.
I'm just kidding.
The German advance into defensive lines that Georgy Zhukov had been encouraged to build by intelligence from the Lucy spy ring. What battle is this? It is indeed, as Nerd Alert has said, the Battle of Kursk. But you were summarily beaten by Farmer's Boy, who got it even before the first question was finished.
I was waiting for you to read the question out. As soon as I saw it, I thought, I know what this one is.
Yeah. The Soviet counterattack in this battle eventually opened a 2,000-kilometre front, named this summer 1943 battle. That was the largest tank battle in history. It was the Battle of Kursk.
To give you an idea of how big it was, the Battle of Kursk was fought over an area of land that was approximately the same size as Wales. That's how big it was. And it's obviously, to this day, it's still the biggest tank battle that ever happened. But yeah, it was fought over. It was like two countries scrapping in Wales.
Yeah.
Absolutely massive. Yes, massive.
In fact, it's probably going to remain for all time the largest tank battle in history, isn't it?
Probably.
Yes.
Because I don't think there are enough tanks in existence in the entire world now to have that many tanks in one place.
No, I don't think there are. Even if you just said, right, we'll just lump you all together and split you into two sides, you still couldn't do it.
Where did I get the Battle of Belgrade from then? Where I thought, wasn't that part of the same battle? Is it not?
Belgrade.
You guys can talk about tank battles after, because we've only got 40 minutes for the quiz. So.
Yeah, we did. Sorry.
Question 7. The Brayton cycle is sometimes named for this man who, independently of von Meyer, formulated the idea of the mechanical equivalent of heat. Who was it? Oh. It's not Bohr.
Mr. Brayton.
Not Mr. Brayton either. This man's second law states that the internal energy of an ideal gas is independent of pressure and volume and depends only on its temperature. Who was this man? The process where the temperature of a fluid changes as it undergoes an adiabatic expansion is named for this man and William Thomson. Who was it? Not Boyle. No, it is not Boyle.
That's not Boyle's law.
Not Boyle's law, no.
No.
Name this English physicist who names the SI unit of energy. Who is it? Not Carnot. Come on, not Watt.
What?
That's
one
power.
of the SI units of energy.
That's not energy, that's power. Farmer's Boy. Alan's got it. And Nerd Alert's got it. It is Joule. To be more precise, it is James Prescott Joule. James Joule. Jimmy Joule.
Jimmy Joule.
The hum associated with these devices is due to a rapid expansion and contraction with each magnetic cycle known as magnetostriction. What kind of devices are these?
I don't know.
Yeah. Alan knows. Big Blue knows. Farmer's Boy doesn't.
Well,
Judy does. Nerd Alert does. They are indeed transformers.
Yeah.
The rest of the clues were the audio type of this device is used to block radio frequency interference. The EMF of one of these devices can be increased by operating at a higher frequency. These devices are laminated to reduce eddy currents, and hysteresis losses occur each time the magnetic field is reversed. Name these electrical devices used to step up and down voltages. They are transformers. Yeah. More than meets the eye. Question 9. As an 18-year-old amateur, this man won the mixed doubles at the French Open with Mary Carrillo. Who was it?
I don't do that sport.
Okay, he won his first Grand Slam title by defeating Vitas Gerulaitis in the 1979 US Open final. Who was it? It wasn't Byron Borg. Byron Borg.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm just going to pick someone.
Peter Fleming said that the best doubles partnership in the world was This Man and Anyone.
I'm not sure how you spell his name, Mick.
Encore. Encore, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think I might have completely and utterly wrecked that.
Yeah, but at least it sounds like it. That's the right sound, Alan.
Okay, I won't bother. I won't bother retyping it then.
Yeah, that's the right one. In 1984, this man set the record for the best year on the ATP Tour, racking up 82 wins and 3 losses. Not Connors, no. This man won a 4th set tiebreak, 18-16, against Bjorn Borg. There you go, it's Bjorn, not Byron. But went on to lose the match. Who was it?
Must be Jin, because he can do anything if he watches a YouTube video.
That's true, yes, Jin. Yeah, he's been there, he's done that.
Yeah. Name this American tennis player who told an umpire, "You cannot be serious."
It was chalk dust.
Yeah, I know those. Can rule.
That's the one.
Go on, smash it. Go, that's it.
Do it again.
Spit your dummy out. Throw a tantrum.
McEnroe, God.
Yeah. It was indeed John McEnroe. Yeah.
Had a bit of a temper.
He did have a bit of a temper.
He had lots of tempers, didn't he?
Yeah, I remember a comedy skit where they're playing tennis and all of a sudden the umpire yells out and McEnroe argues with him for about 5 minutes, and then finally the umpire says the ball was out. Mr. Connors hit it out. Question 10.
We've got plenty of time, by the way. Go on.
It's not Cherenkov radiation, but this type of radiation is faintly visible to observers who are accustomed to a darkened room as a blue glow seeming to originate within the eye.
That's your aura.
What kind of radiation? Yeah. Not ultraviolet. This type of radiation is emitted when an electron in copper transitions from the L shell to the K shell in a process which is used to provide a source in crystallography. Cousin of ultraviolet. Ultraviolent, sorry.
Ultraviolent.
Oh, a little bit of ultraviolence.
Not fluorescence, no. This type of radiation was inelastically scattered by electrons in the first observation of the Compton effect. That'd be right, Timbo Turtle. Sometimes known as Roentgen radiation, name this type of electromagnetic radiation whose wavelength lies between UV and gamma. That's right, Alan. It is that one. And Nerd Alert got it too. It is indeed X-rays. Yeah. So the people that think they're seeing them are not actually probably seeing the X-rays themselves. They're seeing the fluorescence of materials within their eye that's stimulated by the X-rays. Yeah. And that was your quiz.
Thanks, Paul.
There
That was
you go.
really good.
Well, thank you very much, Paul.
Very enjoyable.
And
Let me switch over to.
I'm quite proud of the fact that in my correct answers I can include penis, David Bowie, and Kurt.
You know when you're talking about the hums of Transformers. I've got a little story about that. Do you know? You remember Ian Botham?
Yeah.
Beefy Botham, the cricket player.
I do.
The cricket player Ian Botham. Well, okay. Well,
Yeah.
Ian Botham stayed at this hotel I was working at. Okay. Right next to this hotel was a little substation. Right. In one of the rooms, if you had the window open, you could hear the hum of this transformer. Okay. It wasn't particularly loud. If you closed the window, it's fine. You couldn't really hear it. But it was just kind of like if you looked out the window of this one particular room in the corner, you could just about see it just sort of around the corner if you leaned out. Anyway, it was fairly close. So anyway, it was the middle of summer. Ian Botham stayed at my hotel he was at, right? And unbeknownst, I didn't know anything about it myself. I'm just going by what staff told me. So anyway, he's staying in this hotel. He got a phone call from me and Botham at reception saying that there's this awful hum coming from outside. Can you sort it out? And he was gently explained that fortunately it was a substation transformer. There was nothing we could do about it. And the rest of it, well, okay, you need to move me to another room. Well, there's no rooms available. They're all full, every single one of them, none left. So he grumped and grimed around, and then he rang a bit later on again, still couldn't sleep, and he said, "Right, you're going to have to turn the transformer off." He was demanding this substation be turned off. You know, we're a hotel. And he's demanding, apparently. He went absolutely mad. This needs to be sorted out. This needs to be sorted out. You need to turn this substation off. Yeah, I was in both. Wow. Yeah. I was back in something. Go on.
Because it's that easy, isn't it? You can just phone up the whichever electricity board that would come under and say, look, we got a chap here. He doesn't like the sound that your transformers are making. Could you just turn the substation off for the night? Yes, I know we and several other thousand people in the area will lose their power.
Yeah.
But both of them will be happy. So could you please come and turn it off? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Ian Botham to this day. Unbelievable.
I know they said, no worries.
Just call a guy back and say, hey, they've turned the hum down, so it should be much better for you now.
I mean, it was suggested to perhaps close his window, but no, you wouldn't do that because it was too hot. Yeah. But I mean, we went in the room, we checked it ourselves. I mean, it wasn't really that loud. It was just like a gentle hum. I mean, for me, it'd send me to sleep, to be honest with you. But it really wasn't that bad. But you obviously have sensitive ears. I don't know. But yeah, he's Ian Botham. He's a famous cricketer. Therefore, it should be turned off.
My question would be, which is worse, a 50 hertz hum or a 60 hertz hum?
True enough.
We now have 10 minutes left in Zoom.
They should have sent out a few singers to harmonise with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harmonising?
Harmonising.
We will harmonise.
The Hindus don't come harmonising in the hallway.
We have 10 minutes left on Zoom.
Well, I might as well go back to Discord, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to jump back out to Discord, I've got a job for Matt.
Uh-oh.
You're all out. There you go. Because I'm sure you're missing your job.
What missing? What?
Oh, yeah. He's good. He's yeah. I
know what it is. Yeah. Another story I'll tell you about as well in a hotel. We had a wedding night, and we had these groomsmen. It was a group of groomsmen, and they were staying in this one room that had three beds in it. It was like a triple sort of bed. So they thought it'd be quite funny to do a naked streak through the hotel, although I for fun and the rest of it as well. That's all right.
Yeah,
but one of them, they're all bladdered, and one of them decided to pull his trousers down. No, well, actually, no, he didn't pull his trousers down because he was naked. He decided to squat in the middle of the floor in the corridor and excrete a turd in the middle of the floor. But the amazing part of it was perfectly square. It was a square turd. I mean, how is that possible?
He's a wombat.
What?
Wombats have square poo.
Yeah, he's a wombat. Wombat do square turds.
Yeah, but it was, like a normal human turd, but it was kind of, the way it kind of like laid down, it was a perfect square, I swear to God. It was weird. Because there was me, there was people that was left up at this time of the night was me, because I was working on the late bar.
Hey, come and have a look at this.
Yeah, the duty manager and the I don't know what you call him, the caretaker, I suppose, or the night porter. That's it. Yeah, it was just us, and it was like so we were looking up, how is this possible? So he was made to clear it up, otherwise he would have to pay a fee. So he had to go with a bag and a few cleaning bits and pieces. He had to clean it all up, and he was very apologetic and all the rest of it. But yeah.
How bizarre.
That was the city. Just remind him, because that was the same hotel.
That's like, Matt, when I was in my late 20s, I ended up in intensive care for 10 days and on the wards for about 4 weeks after that. While I was there on the wards, the nurses gave this poor old fella a laxative shot in his arm. And then they promptly forgot about him. And the poor guy, he just had to go. And finally, he tried to get off his trolley and go to the toilet. And there was shit all up the corridor and all down the floor of the toilet and on the walls and everywhere. And all the nurses were getting upset, saying it wasn't their job to clean it up. And they were going to go on strike over it and everything, you know.
Don't give them laxatives in.
No, not in.
Once you've had 2 kids, it doesn't bother you anymore. It really doesn't. It's not that bad, really. Shit and puke.
Yeah.
Do without it though.
Sometimes they get.
We do without it. Yeah, it's not that I want to bathe in it. You know, just doesn't bother me anymore.
Yes. Anyway, you got a little job, Matt.
Oh, have I? Okay, I better watch your stream thing then, aren't I? What are we doing?
You're really, yeah.
Press play then.
Press play. Let's press play. Whoops. What did I do? Oh, I don't want to push play on that one.
We've already watched that one.
Yeah.
I watched that one. What did I hit? I must have hit.
No.
It's alright. I've got it. There we go.
Press the wrong button.
Yeah, let's push back.
Right.
Up.
Unmute first.
Full screen. Unmute.
Water always find this level.
Play. Play then.
I did. Can you hear it?
Water always find this level. The only curve you think you see is a boat going out of your line of sight. Or this flat.
Okay, we're trapped. Everyone for himself. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Get out of my way. Okay.
So we know that the Earth is 70+% water, right? We know that water always finds its level.
Are you kidding?
No.
God, this is worse than having Ronald McDonald for a father. Bye, Dad. Don't wait up.
Whoa, wait a minute, Lisa, come back here. You're not going out with all that makeup on.
We have hydrostatics, which deals with fluids at rest, aka completely flat, just like we always see.
It sounds simple, doesn't it?
No, I refuse to listen to you any longer.
So how is 70% of the Earth flat on a ball?
But you were always such a smart boy. Remember in the 8th grade when they kept you back a year to help out the other kids?
Gravity.
I've hit rock bottom.
Gravity.
I'm completely lost.
Gravity. Gravity.
I'm a dick.
We don't know what it is, but it's our universal answer for everything we can't explain in a spinning water ball in outer space.
Silence.
Yo, I felt the need to post this because we still got a bunch of people misinterpreting what flat Earth is.
I've never heard of such a brutal and shocking injustice that I cared so little about.
So it's not a disc or a pancake floating in space.
Who cares?
We're essentially the basement or the bottom floor of the entire Earth. You got the sun and the moon and the stars, and they all rotate above us.
People are particularly stupid today. I can't talk to any more of them.
The Earth is spinning, never feel it. The Earth is curving, never see the curve. Space is real, can't go to space. True gravity, just a theory.
So, I'm gonna just shut my eyes for a bit. Go on. And I'm listening to everything you say, okay?
I mean this in the nicest way, but you have to be complete delusional to believe any of that garbage. Delusional.
You kinda are.
Hey there, buddy. Pretty sure this is what you were looking for.
Is that a lie detector?
Yes. And I assume you know how it works?
Yes. Kinda. I think I get it now.
Yeah, so it, shrinks. How are we gonna explain that? Huh?
I don't like lying.
How are we gonna explain that?
To strangers.
So yeah, you say it simply does not work. But the reason it does not work is because you don't understand how it works.
I have a family. I admit, I'm single, but I still have a lot to live for.
Gravity's just a theory.
What else could it be? Yes.
70% of the Earth is made of water. No.
Oh,
says
how
that.
many times do they say that?
Oh,
70% of the Earth's surface.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But even if it's...
Oh, weren't you there on Jem's Discord when, I can't remember who was there, but there was a big row about that the surface of a sphere is not three-dimensional. We're just talking about the surface. Were you there, Paul? I can't remember. Was that Blue?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like something that'd go on Bev's server, though.
Yeah.
That's a Bevite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might have been Bev, I think. No, I think it's Gems. I think it was on Gems, I think, if I remember rightly. But I know,
It is a common misconception amongst these idiots. They can't grasp that the surface of a 3D object is 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All surfaces are 2D.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
If you want to claim it's 3D, tell me what the volume of it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the volume of a surface. Good luck with that.
Tell me how thick the surface is so I can figure out what the volume of the surface is. I see. Okay.
Timbo, I don't know if you've noticed, but Wally's just dropped one.
Wally's dropped one, hasn't he?
Oh, that's always a good one.
I'll have a look. I haven't been playing Dan for a while, so we'll give Dan a go and see if he's worthy of playing again. So
yeah, you got Dan up anyway. You might as well.
I'll put Dan up.
Oh, do you want to unmute and then press play, Timbo?
We will, and I'll have a look at Wally. Yeah,
one of the most stubborn and long-serving flat earthers is Jeren from Jerenism. He is, of course, the famous flat earther who proved Earth's curvature.
I mean, it's we don't see you, Enrique. Lift up your light way above your head. Interesting.
Hey, and he is still churning out the flat earth content in the hope that he will reach 2 or 3 people, maybe. One of his more recent videos, though, caught my eye, and as usual, he's looking at the curve. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Huge thanks to them. There is a lot of exciting stuff coming to Raid. If you haven't started playing yet, what are you waiting for? Use my link in the description or use the curve. So, let's hear him out.
So let's say you did... Here's where I think people kind of mess up on this. All right, so let's say a boat leaves Santa Cruz heading towards Monterey. Okay, so going this way. Okay, so let's say a boat's going this way and a boat's going this way. Actually, we'll draw it like this. So this boat's going this way off this coast, heading for Santa Cruz, and this boat's going from Santa Cruz over here. Okay? There you go. So those 2 boats are moving. Now, here's what we have to realize, is that pretty soon, the people in Santa Cruz are going to lose this boat over the so-called horizon.
Yes, indeed. A viewer height of 6 foot would mean that your horizon for you was approximately 3.2 miles away from your location. However, even if you were just 10 metres up on that beach and a higher viewing point, then the horizon would be around 8.2 miles away. Either way, though, it will eventually dip over the curve, yes.
Right. Not in 3 miles, but maybe in 7, whatever. So this boat here is going to start to get lost over the so-called horizon. So what we need people to do is be the third-person observer. If you have a third-person observer now who's standing at Moss Landing and watches those boats traverse, well, that's not how it looks in real life. But anyway, if you're watching, it's showing me like that.
No, it doesn't.
I hate the ocean. I'm so scared of the ocean. I don't like it. All right, so let's go this way.
What's he doing?
My lines? Oh, there. It's looking way out in the water. So here's the thing: does this person, from this perspective, see the boats dip? No.
And why would they?
Would they?
If you were at beach level, your horizon would be dictated by this circle, nowhere near close enough to see the ships. Well, you could move a bit further back from the coast. There's a nice road where you could see out to sea with an elevation of 30 metres. However, this means your horizon of 21.75 kilometres would still be a bit too far away from those ships. I don't think Jaron thought about that, did he?
So if there's no dipping of the boats this way, then we know that these people aren't seeing the boat go over an edge. It'd be impossible. You have the third person's point of view.
Just to add though, the third person, if they were high enough up, they would see that boat approach from the left or right, let's say, come into their horizon circle, let's call it. It would travel along the horizon in front of them and then pass out of their view again as it went over the horizon. The Earth is way too big and we are way too small to see any curve from left to right in this scenario.
What this person would prove is that both boats are just going straight across. That's it. There's no other explanation for it. This person would be able to stand here in, let's say they're up high on this mountain, and you'd be able to watch both boats just go across.
And of course, none of that proves anything other than the fact that the Earth is massive.
Well, how is that possible? Then it cannot be that the people are losing it over an edge, and this person, because then what do? Meet in this cavern?
I genuinely think sometimes that flat earthers are confused about the curve we mention when we're talking about boats going over it. We are not talking about left to right curve. We are talking about curve that is parallel to you, back to front, shall we say. That's the curve that, whilst you cannot see it, affects what you're looking at.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So, that's creepy. You can see the ocean floor like that.
Notice how, as he zooms out, the curve appears.
If you even believe that. I was reading the other day about this false bottom that they found, that they say moves up and down every night, and it's like, throws off their sand. They don't even know how deep it is in those areas because it's a false bottom that's made of, they think it's made of fish and shrimp. That sounds crazy. They come up to feed every night. But that's what they think. Alright, so that's good there.
It's just I can't read the bottom.
Here? Don't remember.
What are you doing?
Again, if you don't know the
false
east-west
bottom
problem,
made of fish and shrimp.
Oh, the east-west problem. What is that?
It's just that north-south is different than east-west. North-south are absolutes. So if you go here, that's going to be south of this guy at 180 degrees. And then if you come back here, going this way, it's going to be 0. Okay, so they're complete opposites, polar opposites. But the east-west does not work that way, and they never told us that. So if you start here in California and you go east, you're going to quickly realize, oh shit, east is down here. Why is that? So east is...
Oh, look, when he drives that line, look at that. Look at it curving.
That's east line. So if you went here and then measured back west, it should be there, at least in my opinion. But if you go that and do that, 270 west is there.
What are you doing?
Ah, yes, an unfortunate coincidence of thinking that the US is at the centre of the Earth. Look what happens when I draw 90-degree easterly headings from different points on the globe. They all meet at the equator. This is what happens when you try to draw a straight line on a sphere.
Okay, so you just saw it. This person's east of him, and this person's west of him. And again, in this very description, and I've tried to explain this a million times, I still hear every other channel say it. They're like, oh, you don't even have an explanation for why the sun sets south of west in... I just explained it to you right there. I just showed you.
Have it?
That east and west are not what you think. So when you're at Australia, And you're like, I'm cool. Whoops. Left line. I'm cool. I'm Wolfie. I drive a plane. Cool, Wolfie. You don't get any.
Drive a plane.
Wolfie has more intelligence in his little finger than the entirety of the flat Earth movement.
This person here who's looking east, you would think that their east is going this way, right along this line, or kind of with this, right? I'm sorry, west. And what is actually true is that west would always be pointed at the equator. So 270 west is there. Okay? So now you can start to see where this person is looking there, and the sun is setting, say, in line with this line, which it does during the winter solstice. Well, it's going to look south of east. Sorry, south of west. So if the sun is rising, it's going to rise on the other side. But on this side, if it's setting, again, which is where they have problems. Oh, it sets south of west. Yeah, because look at this is this guy's west. So if the sun stays on this path,
still doesn't work for you.
It does. Then what do you think's going to happen? It's going to look like it went south of west, and therefore people will all dismiss the AE map. And I call that dumb.
Well, I think it takes one to know one, Jeren. Have a look at this. The sun sets on the winter solstice in Perth at a heading of 297 degrees. That's represented by the yellow line here. The red line is 270 degrees due east, and the orange line is the heading of the sun during the summer solstice in December, and that's at 240 degrees. It's almost like the Earth is a globe and it tilts, isn't it? Wow, Jeren, just wow. I never fail to be flabbergasted by your videos, and they actually cheer me up because it means I still have a job to do. Well, there we go, a fascinating look at Jeren's Google Earth skills there, but for now we are all done and dusted for another Flat Earth vlog.
Pass the round.
Other useful Mandela
How many ads has he
effect
got?
madness. See you then.
Too many ads.
No, I think it was the same ad that he did a very brief
it was Raid
start
and...
of the video.
No, he did
just left it all for some reason. He left it all to the end, which was nice.
Oh, he has Raid there, and he has Raid. Oh, he's gone to Raid. Okay, I see. Well, Wally posted a video about that video. That was the one that Alan mentioned. So, well, since we just watched that video,
Dr. Tofano is in the house.
Good. Okay. So, I don't know what's in this video, except it's Wally, and I like to promote Wally, so let's promote Wally.
Hey everybody, where's Wally here?
Wally.
Well, this is going to be a very easy video for me, and this is all thanks to Jerenism. Jerenism provides the laughs for us today. He seemed to got a little bit upset that Simon Dan ripped into him yesterday, so he tried to return fire. And the shooting in the foot was funny as. There you go, guys. I don't need to do anything. Just listen to a few minutes of Jeren making a total upside down fool of himself. Well done, Jeren. Oh, Jeren, if only you'd accepted Wolfie's offer to come to Australia all those years ago. It was a free trip and you didn't want to come. He wanted to stand you on Princess Street on the December 21st with a compass in your hand. His little pinky would have been pointing to the setting sun, and you would not have been in this situation you find yourself in right now, making such a dopey error.
It's going to look like it went south and west, and therefore people will all dismiss the AE map. And I call that dumb.
Yeah. Well, I think it takes one to know one, Jeren. Have a look at this. The sun sets on the winter solstice in Perth at a heading of 297 degrees.
It does.
297 on the winter solstice. What are you talking about? Don't they? Why do those guys always say it sets south of west?
In summer.
That's north of west.
That's represented by the yellow line here.
It's even worse then, bro. What are you talking about? That's not better for you. The whole point is they say that the AE map can't be correct because the sun sets south of west on December 11th or December 21st. Now you're just going to claim that it doesn't? Where do you see this? Where's your date? Because that's their entire argument. So what do you, now you're debunking their entire argument?
The sun sets on the winter solstice in Perth at a heading of 200.
Wait.
It says it 1724. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. You're talking about.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I'm talking about during their summer, not during winter.
Confused.
Well, I think it takes one to know one, Jaren. Have a look at this.
Oh dear.
The sun sets on the winter solstice in Perth at a...
Okay, the winter solstice is when? December 21st, correct?
No.
No.
Let me make sure I'm right, because this guy means he's totally wrong.
No.
The winter
What an
solstice
idiot.
is... I don't think that the people in Perth call the winter solstice our solstice. Isn't the winter solstice in December? Or is the one for Australia, they call it the opposite? Probably do they call it the opposite.
Christ almighty.
But clearly I'm from
He
up
is
north,
so
and if I'm going to talk about
confused.
the winter solstice, I mean December 21st. And December 21st, the sun does not set at 5:24. So you're talking about our summer solstice, their winter solstice, in which point there is no issue. There's no problem at all with the flat Earth. You're about to explain exactly what we already know happens.
heading of 297 degrees.
Yeah, that's northwest.
Yes,
because that's
but
where the sun is going. It's going
don't
away
you
to
get
the
that's
northwest.
Don't you get that's a problem too?
That's represented by the yellow line.
Yeah, and I was talking about the summer solstice is southwest. Do you understand? Yours makes no sense.
Here. The red line is 270 degrees.
Welcome to the
due
globe,
east, and
Jerem.
The orange line is the head.
Idiot.
He doesn't get that that's a problem too. That angle is wrong. First, it's not west. It's still pointing way north than it should be.
Thing of the sun during the summer solstice in December.
Okay.
And that's at 240 degrees.
Okay.
It's almost like the Earth is a globe and it tilts, isn't it?
No, it's almost like you just drew exactly what the sun does, and you can do this on a flat Earth. On a flat Earth, if you realize that these people are looking west towards the equator, then the sun, when it comes around this way, do I need to show you a flat Earth map? I guess so. You're just so dumb that it's embarrassing. I don't know what else to say. It's just embarrassing that these people are on the same land as me. I shouldn't have to explain these things to them 7,000 times. They're just too dumb. But I do this so that you guys see, so that you guys can, refine your arguments. Anybody who's telling you the A map is wrong, yeah, there's issues with every map. I get that. And we certainly don't have cartographers out going along the coastlines and calculating everything for us. We don't have that.
Need to.
But as far as the reasons that they say the A map is wrong, first of all, you've got Fat Ronnie and his gay buddy Jason. They keep going on and on. They say that the sun travels straight. It doesn't go around you at the North Pole. Objectively wrong. The sun does go around you at the North Pole. It's the Arctic because it arcs around you, okay? And they say that that's the reason it's not an A map. So they're dismissed already. Their whole thing is debunked. Their entire stupid map is debunked. People like Jake the asshole say that the sun sets south of west. So he knows the AE map can't be right. Okay, how many times do we have to tell you that what he just showed you, what Simon Dan is showing you, what I'm showing you, what I've showed you a million times, is that west is not the direction you think. So if you just want to believe Wolfie, and what's the other guy's name? We used to do those terrible videos. Oh, remember he had a real stupid voice. I can't remember his name. Let me bring this up here. I got to find a...
I just put it on the screen. I don't know if you realise this. If that's the two angles, that's where he's saying the sun would never get in the middle here. He doesn't understand. That's the problem. That's where it sets. So it only goes from here to here according to him, in summer, our summer. It never gets over to here, but it does definitely set over this way in summer. Anyway, move on.
Flat Earth map would be under F, D, E, F. Thank you. Let me see which one we got here. This one will work. Yeah, why not? Okay. Now move over here. So just showing you this on a flat Earth map. You can see that great. And we're down here. So the problem is that what people think is going on is, and I'm sure you've seen this before. Have you ever seen people draw this? They go like this. They're like, this is the way the sun goes. That's what they draw. Like, so it's impossible on this map. How does the sun rise here and set here? Well, again, pay attention. The north and south are cardinal. Meaning if you go, oops, why didn't I draw a line? Thank you. So if you're drawing a line like this, you say, okay, where's this person? Well, this is north-south all the time. So you would think 90 degrees is this way, right? You'd say this must be east-west along this whole line, but we know that's not true. Do you see our point yet? There's an east-west problem in that this is not east-west along this whole line. East-west constantly changes. From this person here it's always, and then let's draw just for an example the equator, which is here. We're going to make it clear and red. Okay, good. So the equator is probably about, I always get this one weird, maybe, no, there. Give or take, someone's right about that, okay? So that's your equator. Now, remember, east and west, like Simon Dan just showed you, are always pointed at the equator. So this person's...
Yeah, but I can see
this
the
person
funny
here,
side of
let's
this.
say they're, well, that's fine. We'll just go to the middle of Australia, is looking, this is their east. Okay? So when the sun comes lumbering around...
So if you're standing in Perth, it is northwest. Yeah, is where east is. If you're using his
map, looking west to see east.
Yeah, no, I mean northwest. Sorry, but if you look at his map, and he's tried to use a map that doesn't have distorted countries, the Tropic of Capricorn, that line's going to be even worse. So,
like so. Oh, that's not very good, son. Let's grab it. Oops. Let's grab a sun. Come on. Refill that. Thank you. Give me a circle. Thank you. Make it that big. Make it orange. Okay. So when this sun comes around, here's the equator, but let's say it's on the summer solstice for them. Okay. So it's coming around here, December 31st or December 21st. And so if the sun is going off this way, which way is that person going to see it set?
It's not.
Watch again.
No.
This is
No,
west.
December the 21st.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Diddum diddum. Da-dee doo doo. Ba-dee boo doo. Okay, so it comes around here like this. And which way is that setting? By sun, it's setting south of west. Okay? That's it.
Where does
That's
it
simple.
sit?
Nobody ever
Where's
gets
the
it.
sun when
How many
it
times have I
sits?
told you? 100 times? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They just want to argue and yell and never actually admit that they were wrong. It happens all the time.
We're not wrong.
No.
Can't even get an idea when the summer solstice or winter solstice is for the southern hemisphere.
Hey,
you
Wolfie.
silly twat.
Hey, how you doing? Good. Smashing those flat earthers again?
Absolutely, every day.
Hello.
Have a good one.
You too.
It's beautiful though, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't get how wrong that is.
Oh, he doesn't. He's so confused. But
It's all confusion because everybody else is stupid.
Yeah, but he's so confident with his confusion. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
I just
Why
love
isn't he
how,
on top left yet? He should be.
Thank you.
I just love how he's picked this map because he knows he can't use Gleason's map because it's so distorted. But
yeah,
this one makes it even worse. That if you draw the two tropics on here, so that your summer, sorry.
So the equator's
summer?
probably about...
Where are we? Up there. You know what I mean? It's going to be even closer to the middle, which is going to make this angle like almost down north for the sun. That's going to be the maximum. The sun.
I don't even understand that map. I mean, like, I can see where Australia is. I recognise where Africa is. Well, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that bit of land near the top? Then is that supposed to be South America? Right there at the top.
That is Iceland. There. South
No.
America.
Further up.
Oh, all right. There you go. Nearly had it. Go up there. There was
that's
that bit of land. Is that supposed to be South America?
Yeah, that's South America. Doesn't look anything like it. So what this map is, I've seen it before. What they've tried to do is, it's a distorted map. It's not a true projection. They've tried to pick where the tropics are in the maps and then put the known size of the countries on. But for some reason, South America is twisted. So if you look at it, South America is this way when it should be that way.
Exactly. That's what I was trying. That's trying to get at. It's just it's all the wrong direction. It's all just wrong.
So you look how bad America is. So America is this way. So it's like they took the Mercator map, which is sort of this way, and then stuck this stuff on, and then they've tried to fit this one on, and then they've stuck Australia over here. Obviously, this distance here is just so far out; it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but the distance between where you got Australia and South America, I mean, that would just be all wrong to start with.
And even New Zealand, which is down here on this map. New Zealand is actually over here, but they've got it down here, almost between us. Yeah, this map is even worse than Gleason in terms of position.
Yeah, far worse.
But they've tried to stick actual countries on, and of course it doesn't work. And it's amazing.
I suppose another thing you'd use in that as well, because the proportions are probably a little bit closer to reality, but in terms of distance between the continents and the land mass is just completely wrong.
Yeah, no, I just find it funny because if you're using this map, it's even worse on this map than it would be on the other one. We wouldn't get the sun further south than about 45 degrees either way.
Yeah,
in the summer, in the winter, our winter that is. Anyway, there you go. I didn't really. That was good to see him respond. And be so wrong, but he'll always get it wrong. He'll never work that one out.
Oh yeah.
I like the size of the sun he was putting on because that covers his errors as well. So have a sun the size of Australia means that no one can sort of pinpoint the angles that well. And the other question is, when does the sun set? Okay, so the sun's going to set over here. Well, the sun's going to set halfway between Australia and Africa, roughly. If you go by when the sun appears in Africa and disappears in... Yeah. Anyway. That one is so wrong. Okay, well, it's 12:30 our time. I'm sort of thinking of starting to wind it up. What else have we got?
That's fair.
I've got a few things on my list here. I had been finishing with Creaky, so I need to stick a Creaky in there, and we'll use that to finish up. Let's see how long. I can't remember how long this one is. Let's have a look. 8 minutes. That's not Creaky. That's the same one again. Come on. Paste that into there. Copy. There we go.
Although I am interested to know why.
Okay. 16 minutes. That'll do us. I might speed him up a little bit. We'll get past his ads.
Yeah, I took the fam down to the Hudson River Museum.
As a museum? Now, I've just spent 2 weeks in the New York area, spoke to lots of New Yorkers. No problem at all. But I didn't understand a word of that. I got museum, but that was it. Have you been drinking, Chris?
I am not drunk.
Can you tell the time?
Yes, I am not drunk.
I didn't actually realize there was a planetarium in there.
Oh, great. Here we go. Another rant about fake space. Although I am interested to know why he called the video Bible on our flat earth. I picked it because it contains 2 of my favourite things to mock. Flat earthers and the Bible. Sorry. But before we get into the video, allow me to bring you up to speed as far as CC goes, just in case you're new. In today's breaking news, we can now confirm that Chris, also known as CC from Westchester County, New York, has officially been declared an idiot. We asked his wife for comment, and she had this to say. And now, over to Karen for the latest Flat Earth weather report.
Don't make unnecessary journeys. Don't take risks.
Are you okay, Karen? Please subscribe.
Mind-numbing motherfucking bullshit that this guy was preaching.
And there we go, he's back. Come on, pal, think about your blood pressure. You're going to pop out an eyeball if you're not careful. It's okay. Creaky's here. I'll talk you through it and make it all better for you before the end of this video. You just have to listen and take in everything I say.
Lights in the skies that are light years away and Saturn and how beautiful it would be.
Yeah, space is pretty amazing. And there's so much of it. And as I have asked you before, CC, assuming that the Earth was proven to be flat, you would still need space. Even a flat Earth has to be somewhere. I really can't see what you're hoping to achieve by claiming that space is fake. Do you not realize how completely insane it makes you sound when you say that?
But the one thing he did agree with me on is that you can't land on Mars. There's no way.
But we already have. Unmanned, I know, but we still did it already. NASA is hoping to land the first humans on Mars by the 2030s, and several new missions are launching before then to push exploration forward. But I suppose we can go with, we haven't landed there, as long as your explanation is in-depth and impossible to debunk.
Oh man, there was I was busting. For 45 minutes I went through this with my daughter right here, and I was giving her a little nudge here. Oh, bullshit. This is bullshit. All of it's bullshit.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. I always thought that this was just your shtick. Clearly I was wrong. Your poor daughter. Imagine how she must feel, having her father ridiculing himself in front of literally the whole world. Must be really hard for her. I hope her schoolmates don't know about it.
You people have to understand you live on a flat plane. It's motionless. There's no space out there.
Yeah, motionless, blah, 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 no space. We get it. CC, you're an idiot. But even idiots sometimes will offer an explanation for the ridiculous things they say. You can't just keep saying these things and never explain to us why your ideas about the shape of the Earth make more sense than what all of science can demonstrate over and over and over again.
Everything's a lie, all the way down to every freaking NASA accomplishment. And the NASA accomplishments, you know what they've accomplished is Dick.
Dick? Who's Dick? Would we know him? Was he an engineer or an astronaut? This is exactly what I mean. NASA have accomplished Dick. Cool story, bro. Now this is the part where you were obliged to explain to us exactly why you are sure that NASA has accomplished Dick. And remember, CC, saying something is fake doesn't make it fake. Don't make me break out my list of the things that we only have because of NASA.
Nada. Zero.
Ah, so when you say Dick, you actually meant nothing. Well, far be it from me to disagree with a flat earther, but you're wrong again, Chris. You name one thing that NASA hasn't done, and then prove it to us.
They didn't land on the moon. The moon's there, you see it, but can you land on it?
Yes, you can, and we have. I know we have, and I suspect that you know we have. And the reason you were so laser focused on the moon landing is because you and every other flat earther out there in YouTube land knows that we took photographs of the Earth when we did land on the moon. And you have to make idiotic claims like it being faked in a vain attempt to keep yourselves from looking like morons. Well, newsflash, CC, it doesn't work. You still look like a bunch of crayon munching clowns.
Go to one of these places. Focus. Well, they're not going to let you do it though, because I was sitting there with my phone and the director was coming around. He saw the light come on. It's just, it's ridiculous. It really is. Oh shit.
It's ridiculous that they wouldn't let you film in a theatre that charges you to see the film you're talking about? Or did you mean that what you are claiming is ridiculous? I'm a little bit confused, CC. If it's the latter, I wholeheartedly agree with you. If it was that the moon landing was fake, well, we all know how I feel about people who say that.
I just wanted to I was going to crash the whole party, but if I did that would have ruined our day today.
Well, at least you had some consideration for the rest of your family. Now, if only you could apply the same level of restraint when it comes to your childlike way of looking at the world and space and pretty much everything.
At the beginning of the show, and I like to call it the show, and that's all it is, we had a person that comes out and will be answering questions. And that's what really annoyed me. That was at the beginning.
The person answering questions really annoyed you? Well, hold the front page. Was this person there to answer questions about space by any chance?
Right there at the beginning of the show, this guy was throwing out questions.
What guy? I thought there was a guy there answering questions, not asking them.
Or answering questions from the audience, which were mostly from 10-year-olds and, the other children that were there.
Well, that makes a lot more sense. Well, yeah, people will have questions. It's a very interesting topic, because unlike you, CC, most people probably went there to learn something useful, not to sit there muttering fake under their breath like a complete spanner.
And, when you know all of this information, and you know the truth.
You can't handle the truth! Hang on a second, Chris. It would be remiss of me not to cut in here and correct you. You clearly know nothing of the truth, because without stating the obvious, if you did, you wouldn't be a flat earther. And what information? You never share any. Or is it just that it's so devastating to the globe that you have to keep it for yourself for fear of the outcome? What a knob. How about giving us some of this information instead of just making videos where all you do is laugh, swear, and cry out fake without offering anything in return?
And you know how to answer these questions.
Can I just ask where? Because it definitely isn't in any of your YouTube videos. I've seen loads of them.
The only answers people give are what they're taught.
No way. People base the answers they give on things that they have been shown to be true by the scientific community in general.
Well, I never.
I am truly shocked. Now you, on the other hand, answer no questions at all, or at least not with anything meaningful or verifiable in any way, because space is fake. The Earth is flat because space is fake. Because we didn't land on the moon. Because what, you imbecile?
Which is scientism. Bullshit. Nonsense. Crap.
Oh, yes, all very descriptive words, Christopher. And the reason I say that is because it proves my point exactly. So what you're basically saying is that it must all be BS or nonsense or crap, because the real answers to the questions you ask completely disagree with everything you claim to believe. That's not really how questions work. And as my grandfather used to tell me, if you don't like the answer, you shouldn't have asked the question.
We have woken up. We now know when we're looking at the sky, we're not looking at stars light years away.
So let me get this straight. It's flat earthers that are right, and every astrophysicist that's wrong. So when we are studying space and exploring it, we actually aren't, okay? And is this going to be one of those rare occasions where you actually tell us why? Which is the big question flat earthers never really address. If it isn't space that astrophysicists have been studying for all these years, what exactly are they seeing up there?
We're looking at an amazing light show up there. We're looking at a distraction.
Well, I'm not going to bother asking what we are being distracted from, but what I will ask is, who put the lights there? Who changes the bulbs? Why has one never fallen to the ground? Are they LED bulbs?
Well, maybe not that. A clock.
A clock? What the hell are you bumping your gums about now? What on earth has a clock got to do with any of what you're saying? If you need help, Chris, we'll have to come up with some sort of secret code so that I know. How about if you're feeling in bad shape and do need help, you just say something really stupid? That'll work. Oh, wait.
Whatever they said that they had, some rover or whatever the f*** it was, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't exist. It's all bullshit.
See, I told you it would work. Help is already here. Come on, Chris, calm yourself down. This really isn't good for you. And if you keep it up, you're going to find yourself sat on a chair, rocking back and forth, pinching your skin as a way of letting you know that at least you are real. Is there anything that you do think isn't fake when it comes to NASA and space in general, I mean?
And you've got to do your research. And I'm sitting here preaching it to you, But you've got to do your research.
Says the man who's never done any. We don't need to research the shape of the Earth. We leave that to idiots like you. Why would we waste valuable resources researching something that was proven as a fact thousands of years ago using 2 sticks?
Do you feel any movement? Do you think the sun is 93 million miles away?
No, we don't feel the movement of the Earth. We can measure it. Oh wait, flat earthers have done that as well, haven't they?
A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Interesting.
Thanks. Yet again, Bob. And we know the sun is 93 million miles away again because we can measure the distance, which has always really impressed me. Where do you buy a tape measure that long? The biggest one I've got is 25 meters.
Okay. I lost my train of thought.
Really? CC, your train of thought is hurtling towards oblivion at full speed without a driver at the controls.
I want to discuss something with all of you.
Right, okay, I'll stop messing around then. This sounds kind of serious.
All right, I want to talk about the Bible.
Oh, poop, I forgot that the title of your video was something flat earth, the Bible. Okay, let's hear it then.
I'm going to get into the plausible possibility of beyond flat earth right now.
This is nail-biting stuff. Could Chris, CC, our favourite bargain basement Richard Gere, be about to actually give some plausible information to us that will finally shut people like me up once and for all? I doubt it, but we've come such a long way together, and I don't know about you, but at this stage I am fully committed. So let's hear it, Chris.
Anyway, what happens if the Bible itself, all the scriptures on there, are actually transcripts from a computer program that he or she or whoever it may be has created?
What?
Oh, he's gone.
And has translated it into English or into other languages.
Okay.
Into one book. What happens if it's all a program?
Now, I don't mind admitting it, but this has kind of caught me off guard. Are you talking about simulation theory, which suggests that our reality is a computer-generated simulation created by a more advanced civilization, posing questions about the nature of reality, free will, and the meaning of life? So this is a new one for you, Chris, so let's hear your thought process.
All of these, we will give light. We will make water. What happens if all of that was actually from a computer program written in transcripts into a Bible? And what you're actually looking at is a computer codes from
what the
creator.
So what? God writes computer code. I think I want to say no. Sorry, I got nothing.
So it's just my
have you read the Bible?
I mean, I don't know. Could be wrong.
A flat earther being wrong? No, it ain't so.
It's a plausible possibility beyond flat Earth.
Now look, Christopher, I don't want to be mean, but if you think that's a plausible possibility, then it certainly explains a lot about how your mind works, or doesn't, whatever. You still have done nothing to demonstrate that the Earth is flat. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you would like to support what I do here on YouTube, then take a look at the description below. There's Patreon, PayPal, channel memberships. I've even got an Amazon wish list down there. But even if you can't, or just don't want to because you think I'm a massive tool, hitting the like button really helps channels like mine grow. So if you'd be so kind, and I will see you all on Friday. Love you. Bye.
Bye. That's all, folks.
All right. Watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe. By order of the Creaky Blinder.
Yeah, we all. I took the fam down.
We did already. Well, here we go. I think we're at the point. I think we can wander off. Sorry, let's transition there.
I think
so. Go on.
CC was going a bit weird then.
Yeah.
He was
definitely going a bit cuckoo.
that was like, have you actually read the Bible? Because it definitely doesn't read like computer code. Anyway.
It's like talking about research. What research has he done? What was he ever presented apart from like he stands there and says this is bullshit, that's bullshit, that's bullshit? He never done anything. It's just literally nothing.
He just repeats what he hears on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's what they all do.
I don't understand. I don't understand why he's so popular. I mean, at least a lot of flat earthers will try and present something. They'll do something, get it horribly wrong, but at least they do. But he does nothing. He just sits there and talks.
Is he popular by flat earthers, or is he just popular by globers who like to watch him?
I don't know. Not sure.
Yeah. Does he have a flat earth following at all? That'd be curious to find out.
I think he does. I mean, I've heard people talking about him, but
can't say I know anybody who would say CC is his Papa Flurf.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see him being. He's not really a contributor to Flat Earth at all. He doesn't contribute anything. I don't really understand. Yeah, but like you said, it could be just a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely. So he does. He just whines. He just comes on and complains.
Talking about wine, that's a good segue to say I'm winding up for the night. No, I've just thanks Peanuts for coming.
That was nice, that wasn't it?
Dear. Alan's got his board out, I think. I assume that was Alan.
No, nothing to do with me.
Oh, okay.
No.
Don't blame me.
Oh, no, we won't. Okay. So, thanks, Peanuts, for coming. I'll set up again on Wednesday, and I might just launch a little bit earlier on Wednesday, and we'll go from there. I'll try and finish up a little bit sooner then.
That was nice, that wasn't it?
I hope so. That's good.
That was blue that time. I saw him light up. That was nice, wasn't it?
All right. Oh, thanks, Peanuts. Anyone got any last words before I hit the stop switch?
No.
Well, that's the last word. There you go.
The Earth is not flat. There you go. It's pretty simple.
I know. I've got proof.
Level is horizontal.
Horizontal.
There we go. Okay. Thanks, guys, and I'll catch you next time.
Level is horizontal.
End stream. There we go. Should be ended.
Let's see if I can come